Live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I'm not sure where to start. First of all, we still got ICE raids going. And the other side, the opposition, they're still mad. They're still upset. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, government shutdown is still happening. Oh, we got troops going to food pantries. Meanwhile, they're still going to get paid on the 15th. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Letitia James, New York Attorney General, now being indicted for mortgage fraud, as she should. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, obviously. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Jay Jones, a lot of y'all been asking me about this guy out there in Virginia, the Attorney General candidate on the Democratic side. He's going to be a thorn in the side of Abigail Spanberger, the Democratic nominee. Hopefully, his ridiculousness will sink their ship, and that'll just pave the way for our Republican candidate Winsome Earl Sears to succeed in that race. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we got quite a few things I've not discussed. We got the Nobel Peace Prize situation. We got a whole lot more things. We got illegal aliens not driving trucks anymore because of what our president has done. And we'll talk about a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yes, indeed. There's some stuff happening. Shout out to you guys for being here. Hey, I'm excited for the future. I really am. People, they want to push this fear about the economy. They want to push fear about what Trump is doing. They want to push fear about policies, but personally, I'm excited. I like the direction that we're headed. I think having a Trump or someone like him is needed to get things back on the right track. The Democrats think that they are the parents. They come from a paternalistic point of view, but they're actually like children in the way they behave. They do things that don't make any sense. And it's weird because they claim to be the smartest in the room. They claim to be the best and the brightest, but they're not. One thing I'm noticing about Democrats is that they don't really have anybody to fill the roles that they previously held. The Democratic Party of old, I didn't agree with them, but they were better at governing than the current Democratic Party. You know it's a shame. Listen, you know it's a shame, and you really don't have anybody when one of your most sensible people has literal brain damage. I'm talking about actual verifiable documentation, paperwork, brain damage, okay? You literally had a stroke and you had a brain injury. That guy has more sense than the rest of the Democratic Party, okay? Fetterman looking like Adam Sandler at work. You understand what I'm saying? Basketball shorts, hoodie, it don't even matter. It could be 20 degrees outside. You know how they do. Basketball shorts, some regular shoes, maybe a pair of boots, and a hoodie, and that's it. In the Senate, I don't like that. I'm like, all right, my man, please, Fetterwoman, I almost called him Fetterwoman. Please dress right, but I'm gonna give you a little bit of a pass because you say some things that are at least a little bit sensible. Although I don't agree with you on most things. But he's better than the rest of the pack, in my humble opinion. Those who are being elevated to be the stars in the Democratic Party are significant. Those who are being elevated in the Democratic Party signify where they're going. Jasmine Crockett, listen, if they want to put Jasmine Crockett and AOC as their party leaders, I'm all for it. If you want to put Timu Obama, China Obama, counterfeit Obama, the failed version, Obama the experiment. If you want to put Hakeem Jeffries out there, I'll take him too. Listen, any ticket that has a combination or any one of these three, give me that in 2028. I like our chances on the right. Hakeem Jeffries, AOC, Jasmine Crockett, And who else do they have? Who else? Who else is there to actually go out and run and have any kind of chance of winning on the left? I mean, those who might be considered, those you might even think of, are they about to be 85 years old. And it's like, okay, at a certain point, you have to be able to not work anymore. We don't want to have Dianne Feinstein looking like the Crypt Keeper in there right before she dies. That's not what we want. We don't want to have elder abuse. And don't nobody get offended. Oh, you made fun. I'm just saying, come on. We don't want somebody that's like on their last leg in there, you know, barely able to walk and talk, don't even know how to vote. We don't want that. We want you to be of sound mind, and we want you to be present in what's happening. But who do they have? Mayor Pete? Oh, Mayor Pete, listen, I don't know what they were thinking with Pete Buttigieg. I don't know why they thought that was going to work. This is still the United States of America. This ain't Seattle, Washington. This ain't San Francisco, all over the whole city, all over the whole country, pardon me. This ain't that. This is the United States. We're not really with all that LGBTQ elemental P stuff on the big level, because most of your normies don't know politics at all. Most of your normies are not paying any attention at all until it's time to vote for the president. Then they're going to take notice. Oh, we got a dude that's married to another dude and they adopted, quote unquote, some kids. I don't want that. And to be totally honest, they don't want a woman either. They thought they had it in the bag with Hillary Clinton on two different occasions. They thought that she would have the upper hand. Barack Obama was the first Donald Trump, in my opinion. Well, a little bit. He was more a controlled op, but still, I think their side on the Hillary camp thought she had a good chance of being able to win. Former First Lady, Secretary of State, this, that, and this and that. Didn't work. Did not work. So yeah, and I'm seeing you guys talking about Diane Keaton. I did not know who that was. And please pardon me, may she rest in peace. Prayers out to the family. I didn't know who that was. So is Diane Keaton, is that Michael Keaton's mother? I know Michael Keaton. Okay, I know about him. What he played Batman, right? But Diane Keaton, I don't know who that is. So y'all please pardon me. But yeah, RIP to her. But who are they going to have to run on their side? I don't think it'll be anybody. Guy Smiley says, I know it's messed up, but the guy in the hoodie with the stroke is probably the smartest person on their side. 100%. 1,000%. And it's crazy. You would think that someone with a brain injury would not be the smartest person. And if that is the case, then I think there's an issue that you might want to address. There's definitely a problem if the guy with the brain injury is the smartest in the room. It is what it is. All right. Yeah, so she was an actress. Okay. She was in Godfather. Okay. You don't think that they're related? That's interesting. It's weird how you have people that have like the same name in Hollywood and they look like they could be related, but they're not related. And sometimes the last name is not a real last name. It's kind of strange how that works. You know, it's a lot of pseudonyms, a lot of assumed names. Whoopi Goldberg. Her name is not Whoopi or Goldberg. Her name is Karen Johnson. Literally. That's her name, Karen. You couldn't make it up if you tried. I could not make that up if I tried. Her name is literally Karen. Okay, no surprise there. All of them on The View got fake names. But, you know, that's why when you're watching stuff like The View or any kind of TV show, anything on cable television especially, you're looking at an actor or an actress. That's what you're looking at. Okay, and it's not even a secret because Whoopi Goldberg had a long movie career going back to, the 80s or the 70s? So it's not even a secret. These people are actors and actresses, and they are giving you a character on screen. I put a video out from Don Lemon. I mean, Don Lemon, guys like this, morons, big morons. But you realize why they were on television is because they were able to read from sheets of paper and act a certain way to evoke an emotion. But it wasn't the true journalism background, or if it was a journalism background, it was not a very good one. The most important thing for a guy like Don Lemon, for most of your TV types on the left, is just being a good actor. That's all. Or being good enough of an actor to be somewhat convincing to get ratings and views. Now, a lot of that is starting to go by the wayside. A lot of your late night shows, these are also actors, your Jimmy Kimmels and Jimmy Fallons and Jimmy, Johns, all these Jimmys and Johns and Jakes. Can we get more than one name? Anyway, these guys are actors and they're not really that good at what they do. They're kind of one-trick ponies, and people are tuning out. They say, you know what? I don't want that. I want to go. If I'm going to watch somebody that is supposed to be an actor and entertaining, I'm going to go over here to the Wild Wild West on the internet and find someone better. And I think the people that still watch the show are captive and been watching it since 1997. And they're never going to go nowhere. That's right. Whoopi Goldberg also, Sister Act. Okay, y'all mentioned, yeah, that's probably her best one, to be totally honest with you. With Lauryn Hill. I know I'm old. I'm showing my age. A lot of y'all like, what? Who is that? Sister Act with Lauryn Hill. A great movie. Fantastic movie. Better than Color Purple. Color Purple was, listen, the Color Purple was awful. The Color Purple was trauma-inducing. Okay, you making us relive the past from 150 years ago. It was terrible. You told Harpo. Nah. That was a bad movie. That and Roots. Roots was terrible, and it was fiction. The funniest thing is seeing them throw nets on people in the... Listen, do you think a boat full of Europeans with high heels, makeup, foundation are going to go into the interior of the Mandingo Nation with a bunch of guys my size looking like me and throw nets and be successful? No. What happened was you had this tribe of Africans versus this tribe of Africans. They fight. Whoever lose would get put in the dungeon, waiting for the white man to show up on the shore. Okay, white man come with hand mirrors, umbrellas, guns maybe sometimes, spices. Okay, you take that. Here, hey, take that umbrella. Give me about 5 of them human beings right there. Yeah, give me them big ones right there in the front. That's how that went. A net. Look, high heels were invented by the Europeans. You think that one of these dudes is going to hop off the... Nah, that wasn't happening. These movies are just fiction and trauma, for sure. But yeah, she was a good actress, though. Whoopi Goldberg back in the day. So shout out to her. But The View, all that kind of stuff is terrible. Yep, Billy Crystal, Robert Williams. Those are the good old days. Shout out Billy Crystal. Shout out to Billy Crystal, for sure. Okay. Buster 5 says, ABL talking about he's old. You wouldn't think he was 70 the way he talks. 41 isn't old. Hey, man, I'm old. I don't know, man. Like, I'm 41, but I feel like I'm 1,000 years old in my mind. That's how I feel. Whenever I talk to anybody, normies, I feel like I'm super old. And don't let there be like a young person I'm talking to. I'll be like, what in the world? Hey, some of y'all kids, with all these different sayings, 6, 7, I'm like, man, I don't know what's going on. I have no clue. I'm like a fish out of water, a caveman on a spaceship. I don't know what's happening. What's wrong with Tan Denson? That's probably a long story. You're talking about some old Hollywood stuff. Old Hollywood stuff. Michael Keaton, is he still living? I didn't think he was still. I thought he had died. Maybe I'm tripping. I'm thinking about somebody else. He's 74 years old. Okay, he's still kicking. Listen, and this if he's an anti-Trump guy, that's unfortunate. I'll just remember him in Batman with Michelle Pfeiffer. That movie right there, I'll keep him in that memory. I'll compartmentalize him in that box, that memory. Beyond that, I don't even know. If I see him on my social media talking crazy, I'm going to act like it's not him. Like I don't even see it. It's like, look, man, I ain't even see him do that. It's like meeting a celebrity and then they say something crazy to you. They scream on you or something like that. That's the worst thing. You could be you could be this guy's biggest fan, watching them for years on movies and whatnot, and you meet him and he's a bad person. That's terrible. That's awful. Yeah. Fire Mission says, you really old when your nieces and nephews are having kids. Hey, listen, my oldest niece is 31. So I've been past that. You know, I've been past that age. Yeah. Debbie says, ABL, you are hilarious. I'm 30. You're 30 years your senior. You have your best life. Well, thank you. I appreciate y'all for giving me that reassurance to let me know I'm not ancient quite yet. Thank you. But Letitia James, listen, this is so funny seeing the media squirm to try and defend her. How is it okay for Letitia James to sue President Trump and find him liable for overvaluing his own properties and making him pay $500 million? How is that okay? But then when she's indicted for mortgage fraud because she said that her investment property in Norfolk was her secondary residence. When I read it at first, she said it was a primary residence. Then it was secondary residence. Either way it goes, she didn't live there. An investment property means she was just renting it out. She did not live there. And it was probably being rented to a family member. So if you say that you live there and you use that information on the loan, that's called fraud because you don't actually live there. That's not your primary or secondary residence. It is an investment property. And you must disclose that properly. Now, if not for what she did to Trump, if not for what they could do in the future, this might not be an issue. One thing about it, it's not just about her trying to get quote unquote revenge on her. It's about letting them on that side know, hey, we're not going to just take this stuff lying down. Because what they try to do, they try to bully you in the court system. They try to intimidate you away from doing things. You try to intimidate people from going into office because they don't want to have their name dragged through the mud. They don't want to get sued into oblivion. You're intimidating people using the court system, abusing the court system. So this is a message. You can't do stuff like that anymore. We're going to fight back. We're not just going to keep taking whatever you give us. And I like that about Trump, that he's going to fight back and not just be like, okay, whatever. Nah, we got to fight back. And it can't be seen as retribution. If you punch me in the face and I punch you back, am I the bad guy? How is that the case? How about this? If we don't want these back and forth lawsuits and stuff, then don't start it. Don't sue me for $500 million because of something that's not even a crime. And everybody knows it. Everyone knows it's not an issue to say that your house is worth whatever you want to say it's worth. I can say my house is worth $100 billion. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. You can say it's ridiculous and you never get that much money, and that's totally fine. That's your opinion. I have my opinion. The only thing that matters is when you take action on the property. Whether you sell it, you refi, whatever you do, you get a HELOC. When you take action on the property, that's the only time where the value actually matters. And once you get to that, the price will be negotiated. If you list your property for X amount of money and you think it's reasonable, let's say you list your house for $500,000 and it sits on the market for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year. At a certain point, you say, you know what? I got to drop that price, don't I? Because what I thought my house was worth, maybe it's not worth that much. Maybe the market is slow, or maybe my house is not worth what I thought it was worth. I drop it to $450. Now I'm starting to get calls. Oh, okay. So now I'm in the right ballpark. So how can I be in any kind of way punished for my original valuation of my property? I was just wrong. That's not any kind of crime. That's not anything to be punished for. That's not any kind of offense worth me paying out. So, having said that, what she did is actually an offense, although it could be kind of bypassed because it's not that big of a deal, but it is an offense. So, in order to prevent the back and forth of that, don't harass me in the first place with something that's nothing. Let's just play fair. If I am the better candidate and the people want me, they're going to vote for me. If you are better, they'll vote for you. We can do that without having the unnecessary tricks, the playing with the legal system, manipulating the system. Let's not do that. Let's just focus on the merits of both of our platforms. And that's it. If we could do that, we can avoid all the back and forth and tit for tat. That's how I am. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That helps me tremendously. Mr. Mo says, my cardboard box worth $6 million. Nice view on Boardwalk. Hey, hey, some of these little shanty towns, bandos, whatever you want to call them, in a lot of these left coast areas, Los Angeles, San Francisco, etc., Portland, Oregon, hey, they could be worth a whole lot of money if only the people living in them actually own the property and they weren't trespassing. If only. Michael Crislow says Winston Merle Sears is a fighter just like Trump, and she just showed Republicans across America how to handle Democrats on the debate stage. She did very good. She did very good on the debate stage. And one thing that I like that she did was zero in on weaknesses of Abigail Spanberger. You got to do that. That's what these platforms are for, to highlight your strengths, to display who you are, to say what you're going to do, but also to highlight your opponent's weaknesses. Do that. And she got a couple big weaknesses. First of all, Jay Jones, the dude talking about deleting people in text messages, the potential attorney general on the Democratic side. And then you have her record on the whole transformer issue. And one of the main things that I saw from Abigail Spanberger, the Democrat in the Virginia gubernatorial race, she couldn't answer questions. Tom Shad, my man from WebTV 10 in Norfolk, was asking her about the whole transformers and bathroom situation. She just avoiding the question. And the question was pretty direct because the governor, Glenn Youngkin, the Republican right now in Virginia, has a policy that he put on the books that specifically bars boys from girls' bathrooms. I don't care if the boy thinks he's a girl, a squirrel, a rabbit, or a midget. It don't matter. Boys cannot be in the girls' private area. She was asked by Tom Shad, are you going to repeal that? Well, I leave it up to the voters. Huh? Are you going to repeal it? Because check it out. Leaving it up to the voters, in my opinion, means what she does not think it means. To her, she thinks it means, the people of an individual community will make a decision about the transformers in the bathrooms. That's what she thinks it means. What I think it means is we got to zoom out and look at the whole race. If you are kind of wishy-washy about that and Winston Merle Sears is not wishy-washy about that, how about I vote for her? That's how a voter would decide what they want to do as far as the whole trans and bathroom thing. How about I don't vote for you at all? That's how I would go about it. But see, they don't think like that. This is why they're dumb. This is why they're morons. This is why they keep getting the hind parts handed to them. Okay. And speaking about getting hind parts handed to you, did you see not the young lady, but the woman with the news station, getting slammed on her head on the sidewalk? Well, not really. I'm exaggerating, but she was a news employee, had to get hemmed up right quick by the federales because she threw something at one of the officers as they were driving by. It's like, look, man, now you on the ground, you got plumber's crack exposed. You looking like Mario plus 200 pounds on the ground. Okay. You got big up top and skinny on the bottom. I don't know how you achieve that build. But anyway, you got all of that going on, embarrassed because you wanted to assault somebody. And these people are being pumped up by leftists. They pumping them up. Your Jimmy Kimmels, all these people pumping them up. And then when they face down on the ground, they got gravel all in their eye and stuff like this. They getting maced. They got bear spray on their. When that's going on, I think they often regret the decision. I should have stayed my hind parts on the couch, scrolling my phone, rather than going out here to this so-called protest and getting myself a federal charge and getting my hind parts exposed to the whole world. That's what they're probably thinking. Like the movies. I bet you're wondering how I got here. That's how they be. So the moral of that story is stay at the house. Don't be out there protesting. Don't be out there protesting, man. I mean, if you want to protest, it's fine. It's your right. But I'm saying it could go the other way. It could go a whole different direction. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking. Well, we got quite a few things to get into. But before I continue, shout out to the sponsor. Shout out to you guys, of course, for being the first and best sponsors of the show by watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. I can't do the show without you. But also shout out to patriotpost.us. your best source of information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or go to patriotpost.us in your browser and tell them they ABL sent you. And I got you, ERKO. I got all the videos, boss. I got you. Come right on up. I'm going to get through this, and then we're going to just skip through everything. But shout out to the merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, please go to AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. I have articles for each full video that I produce, and in each article, I got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the local, national, international, politically agnostic, Democratic, Republican, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com. Also, please go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my snail mail address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And if you're ever wondering if you're conversing with me on the internets or not, you're probably not if it doesn't come from my email, which is contact@anthonyblogan.com. And I probably would never email you first. If you email me, and the email is always on the website, so it's easy to find on the contact page. If you email me, use that email on my website. Again, contact@anthonyblogan.com. Because some of y'all get hit up on comment sections, random things. You might get a random text on your phone for no reason from a 4,000 digit phone number. Really crazy. It'll make no sense. You were like, what? Plus 212, what's that? It's probably Nigeria. It's going to sound like this. It's not going to be me. It's not going to be me. It's going to be someone else. So please, I beg, do not fall for the wahala. We don't have time. Okay, we're going to keep going forward here. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Let's go one thing here. We got President Trump in pawpaw mode, because y'all be like, ABL, I want something nice and positive. I got you, my friend. This is going to be President Trump being interviewed by his granddaughter, Kai, the golfer. Okay. So this, in my opinion, is something that humanizes him more than what he already is, because he is 79 years old and he has grandchildren. So to some people, to many people, he's a granddad.
How has it been in the White House so far?
It's been great. I had a good time. We're doing a great job. I stopped 7 wars.
Yeah. 7.
And hopefully we get Putin and Zelensky to stop killing everybody. Yeah. But it's been very good. Economy's been great.
How has it been in the...
All right, we got one more from this particular interview. Again, this is going to be Trump and his granddaughter, Kai Trump, who is a pretty popular golfer. I'm not really a golf follower, so I don't know how good she is, but let's keep on going.
Is there a dream that you're still trying to chase, or have you reached all your dreams?
You're asking questions like you're a television I thought I was just going to come out and play around the golf with you. And
I want.
You're asking questions like I'm on television. Yeah, no, look, you become president. That's a dream, right?
Yeah.
I don't
think you
now you can. No, you dream now you want to be a great president.
Yeah.
Now you're president. Now your dream is to be a great president.
I think you're doing a pretty good job. Is there a dream?
There we go. So Trump probably just want to be out there with his grandbaby. He's like, man, I'm getting interviewed, but of course he's going to do it. Of course. Like if that was me and I had a granddaughter, a daughter, anybody, okay, it's whatever. It's fine. I'm going to do the interview for sure. So again, shout out to President Trump and his daughter Kai out there on the golf course.
In the White House.
All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. This is going to be Nick Shirley. Okay, friend to the channel.
Please.
I've shown quite a few of his videos. What he does is he travels from place to place, covering news stories right there on the ground. He's been to Brazil. He's been to all these different cities with all kind of unrest going on. And Nick Shirley's like, what? How old is Nick Shirley, y'all? Do y'all know? what's he like, 19, 20? He's super young, super young. So here he is at the White House speaking to Mr. Orange Man himself.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, my name's Nick Shirley. I'm 23 years old. I'm a 100% independent YouTube journalist. And over the past year or so, I've been able to go to 15 countries. I've hung out with people in the gangs of Brazil, in the favelas, in the prisons of Secot. But yet the most dangerous places I have been here in the United States, unfortunately. And I've had the opportunity to show people about the protest Antifa here in the United States, and there's nothing organic about what they are doing here in the United States. I've watched people be bussed in from states. I've watched the same lady at a protest in Atlanta be bussed to the protest in DC and then in New York City.
Now let's pause right there. First of all, what he's saying is right on point. You have professional protesters, and it's not just like, okay, you have a protest, quote unquote, happening, and we're going to put some thing on social media to say, okay, come out to this place and get $20 an hour. Nah, they are the same people bussed all over the country to go, quote unquote, protest. Okay. So what you have are paid agent provocateurs, people that are being paid to stoke civil unrest. That's what's happening. Okay. These are not organic protests. And shout out to Savannah Hernandez, also another great reporter. These are like my favorite guys and girls in one room. Nick Shirley, Savannah Hernandez. These are fantastic independent journalists. Let's keep on going.
There's nothing that is honest about what they are doing. And they have signs. I've seen the same signs here in DC and in London as well. It's a big organization and corporation that they're running. And people may wonder, like, what's the threat to us as Americans if we go? Well, you'll be labeled as a fascist, you'll be labeled as a Nazi, and they'll wish death upon you because they wish death upon me. And just last week in Portland, Oregon, I watched a lady get trapped in her car, surrounded by Antifa, and her sister messaged me after seeing the video. She said, the only reason I think my sister was safe is because you were there recording. I also was chased out by a member of Antifa who said he would smoke me, and next thing he knew, a DHS sniper had lasers on his chest. That
was a great video, by the way, Nick. That was fantastic. It was like the sniper dude was a Nick fan because he had his back for sure. Was Andy No also there? Andy No, great. I met Andy No before. Andy No is a really nice guy. He's super sharp. I like Andy No a lot. Shout out to Andy No if you're watching.
If he was not there, who knows what would have happened that day. These people are very dangerous, and people wonder how they're able to do it. It's the reason is because these cities are not enforcing the law. And why should these people be worried if the law is not being enforced? And we are not far right, nor are we far wrong. We're just right. And the truth about what's happening here in America with these groups is very dangerous. And I thank you, Mr. President, and your administration as well for acknowledging that.
Thank you very much. It's too bad you have to go through it.
I know, it's a little crazy, right, Mr. President?
Well, you're going to get to the bottom of it, so it's a very important thing you're doing. Thank you very much.
Right on. So, again, Nick Shirley, one of the best journalists, independent out there in the world. Fantastic. And, of course, right here, I got to give them a little bit of love. You have...
And thank you.
You got Pam Bondi to the left, and that is... who is that? I want to say Nikki Haley. That is... y'all know what I'm talking about. Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem over there on the right. Let me just zoom out a little bit so you can see who I'm talking about right there. All right. And they're also, I like what, I'm going to ask y'all, do you think that Pam Bondi and Kristi Noem are doing a good job? Pam Bondi, that's the AG, the Attorney General. Kristi Noem, the HSS Secretary, I believe. Miss her, I'm saying the right thing. Kristi Noem, I think she is the HHS Secretary. Yeah, she is. Homeland Security Secretary. So, yeah, shout out to them. Good team, good squad. Now, this man right here is out in Chicago. You got his finger on the pulse of what's happening. This man, he got it. Okay? When you go to liberal cities like a Nick Shirley would do, when you go to these cities, you often run into the paid protesters, the agitators, the rabble-rousers, or normies who have no idea what's going on. And there's not really a lot of in between. But this man right here, he, from what I was able to see so far, knows what's happening. Let's watch.
here in the city of Chicago is a one-party city. The black ones are no good. The no good white ones are no good. Democrats, the Hispanics are no good. The Asians are no good. This is a true swamp here.
Last time I saw you, Joe Biden was in office and you were getting flooded with illegals. Now we've got President Trump in office.
Yes.
We've got J.B. Pritzker and Mayor Johnson saying there's no problems here.
Oh, there's plenty of problems.
What's your message to them and to America?
Well, my message to the United States of American citizens, that Chicago is a Democratic shithole, and we need Trump to bring in the National Guard to work and to clean up this shithole. And I'm
sorry for the cussing, so you got to cover your ears if you got sensitive ears.
Say this over and over again. The black ones, and the sad thing about it is, Mr. Ben, is when they have that next election, all these damn Democrats gonna get right back in. Right back in! That's the sad thing about it. Well, you tell Trump to come here and clean up this swamp, but it's so historically ingrained in them when it get time for election. They're all gonna be re-elected. Now, what can we do? I'm telling you something that you might don't want to hear. This is how ingrained this shithole is. When they get ready for this next election, all these same son of a bitches gonna get right back in. The black ones, the Hispanic ones, the Asian ones, and the white ones. All of them. All of them, Mr. Ben. Trump got a big task if he thinks he can come in and flip this one overnight. It'll take years.
Should Pritzker and Johnson, these guys, be arrested? What's the solution?
The solution is probably that some of them should be indicted for misappropriation of funds, giving all that money to the illegals when they got people, homeless whites, homeless black, Hispanic, right here, born here in America, to be proud to be an American, and they other people get in front of them. Yes, maybe several of them should be arrested.
Now, what are you talking about right there? The legal aliens coming in, okay? Now, you got homeless veterans, you got homeless, just regular normies on the streets of Chicago, born and raised in Chicago, U.S. citizens, right? Now, here come the illegal aliens. All of a sudden, they getting all kind of services, all kind of money. It's like, whoa. Wait a minute now. Oh, ABL, they work and the homeless Americans don't work. Do they always work? Because I'm seeing plenty of illegal aliens not working, unless you mean working the pistol, okay, working the shotgun, working the block with some girls, unless you call that working. But it ain't no productivity coming from all these people that we're giving benefits to. Meanwhile, homeless Americans don't get those benefits. So my man right here is 100% on point, okay? Shout out to him, right on point, out there in Chicago. And that voice, the video was from Ben Burkham, Real America's Voice. So shout out to Ben Burkham, okay? Shout out to him. Now, I got a video of the lady that got hemmed up by ICE.
What?
And a little bit of warning, we got a little bit of plumber's crack incoming, okay? Just a little teeny bit at the top. Because, hey, them jeans were not ready for that build. Okay, hey, them jeans were not ready for all that jelly. Let's check it out.
What's your name?
Debbie Brockman, I work for WGN. Please let them know.
I got you. Yep. Debbie Browning?
Brockman,
WGN. Do you guys want to share your names too, or you're just going to cover your face? What's your name?
Okay, so what Debbie, who works for WGN, did was throw an object at ICE vehicles as they drove by. And she's now being charged with assault on an officer. Okay, so the moral of this story is don't be like Debbie, please, because you're going to be on the ground, plumber's crack all over the place. It's showing the whole moon in the daytime. Bright moon. Big bright moon in the daytime. You don't want to do that. Okay. Now we got a different angle. You guys may have seen this video. Okay. Like I said, we see the genes. It's just, hey, man, they're not ready for all that jelly.
Sir, what's your name? What's your name?
Okay, so there we go. People in the background yelling, "Hope you're proud of yourself." I mean, look, I think what's happening right here with Trump and the deportations and everything, I think he's being very nice. He's being super nice. If it's me, if I could just be the king, Ruba Fiat, do whatever I want to do, if you wouldn't be in the background adding your little 2 cents, your little ad libs, getting in the way, you going in the van too. I got something for you as well. First of all, take this. Shh. You're going to get all of that right in you, and then I'm throwing you in the van. But see, we can't do that in this country. We got to be a little bit nicer. So we're doing it this way. So here we have Debbie working at WGN on the ground. There we go. Don't be like Debbie. Do not be like Debbie. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh, I think one of her friends did get put in the vehicle. Actually, I almost forgot about this. I think one of her friends did get put in the van, like they should.
Oh my God.
This is ridiculous. Honestly. Stop.
Good job. I hope you learn yourself.
Get the fuck out.
Fuck you.
Get out of our
Fuck.
Hopefully your wife and children make it home.
What is this vehicle, honestly? Yeah.
What is this vehicle? It appears to be a minivan, and it's pretty efficient. This, hey, time on up, throw them on in, and off to the races. And then normies ain't gonna know. They're gonna see some, mom van rolling around. They ain't gonna know before it's too late, and here come ICE. And it's time to go back to wherever you gotta go.
No, this is some fucking bullshit.
Hey, because your friend was in the way. So now you go to a body shop. Hey, and you can't drive around like that. Really, in Chicago, I would presume you can't drive around with your bumper hanging off like that. Now you got to go to a body shop. You got to get that taken care of. Just get out the way, and you will have your vehicle fully intact.
Yep.
Hey, there we go, man. Y'all know how it go. You play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. Congrats. Now you need a whole brand new little back kit right here. Take that to the Chevy dealership and tell them, hey, man, you know what? I was trying to block a nice vehicle, and they took my whole bumper off from the back. All right, that'd be $2,000. Give me that right now. You can call insurance. They're going to raise that. So good luck. And what you going to say on the phone with insurance? Hey, yeah, I need a whole new back assembly. I need a whole new back assembly. The tire ain't really, I need a whole back. How did that? Well, I was at an ICE protest and I got in the way. Okay, you're not going to cover that? Oh, okay. And that's it. And if you lie about how it happened, they're going to see this video with your plate. They're going to see it. And then if you, Debbie, come in there with the damage, they're going to know that it's you because they see your face right here. Listen, don't underestimate the ability of these companies to do their research, do their homework, to research you. Okay, this ain't 20 years ago, man. The fraud and stuff y'all want to do, they're not going for that anymore. They know kind of already what's going on. Okay. Now, speaking of fraud, how do you have a CDL, a commercial driver's license with a picture of your face, okay, and then it says no name given for your name? How do you have a commercial driver's license with no name on it? See, let me tell you what's going on in my humble opinion. I think y'all agree. What they did during Biden was overwhelm us with these illegal aliens for the purpose of lowering the price of doing business, lowering the price of things that we get. Okay, if you flood the market with all these illegal alien truck drivers with these fake CDLs, you're going to drive the cost of trucking down, which makes the cost of goods and goods really cheaper at the store. If it costs less to transport the goods, then the goods can cost less in general. That's the thought process. I'm not quite sure if that is what reality says, but that's the thought process. That's the idea. So what you have as a result are illegal aliens with fake CDLs with no name on it.
You know, Director Lyons, I saw something that startled me. That was ICE arresting an Indian national, an illegal alien operating an 18-wheeler in Oklahoma. And you can see on your screen now, he was carrying a New York State issued commercial driver's license that could also be used as a real ID. His first name was listed as, quote, no name given.
Pause. Did you hear that? Your commercial driver's license may also be used as a real ID. Now, haven't we been told over the past few months and years, really, you need a real ID to do what? To get on the airplane. So how are you able to board an airplane or even get any kind of way near TSA with no name on your driver's license? How does that really work? How can it be used as a real ID with no name on it?
That's literally a real ID he was arrested with. Meanwhile, ICE has arrested at least 91 illegals operating commercial vehicles following that deadly crash back in August in Florida. That was also an Indian national. Fortunately, in this latest no-name case, no one lost their life, but this has got to give a lot of pause and concern for people that we have a lot of illegal aliens out there that shouldn't be behind commercial vehicles.
Yeah, it's really scary, Griff. And, like you said, to see that on a driver's license issued by a state, no name given, and the worst part, there's a real ID star right up there in the corner. I don't know about you all, but it was like going through a security clearance for me to get my real ID. So I can't believe that we're giving illegal aliens who have no right to be here these driver's licenses. You have these sanctuary states that want to go ahead and try to just make it welcoming for these people that we don't know who they are. And again, these are CDL licenses. These people are transporting hazardous goods, materials at times. And in some cases, we don't know exactly what they're doing. And look how many American citizens have lost their lives because of individuals like that have these driver's licenses. Homeland Security Investigations is dedicated to working with the other state police departments and our other federal agencies to make sure we get these IDs off the street and arrest these criminal aliens.
There we go. Now, Moon Destroy says, I worked DMV in New York City. It baffled my mind. All they care about is if the person has the 6 points in, proof of identity, quote unquote, and then we hand them out like candy, shaking my head. It's crazy. It's crazy. It is totally nuts. Hey, but get caught with no license as a regular American citizen and see what happened. It might be there might be an issue. You might get locked up, but you can have a CDL, a real ID with no name on it. Okay. Now, what's happening here is a good thing with Trump. See, Trump has to come in and clean all this stuff up. Trump got to be the cleanup man. I feel like that's kind of the role that Democrats, they do what they do when they're in power. And then we, the Republicans, we, the real people that have sense, we got to clean it up. So what Trump's doing now is requiring that you speak English to have a CDL. And it's being enforced by random stops on the actual highway.
The craziest thing just happened to me, gamers. So I'm driving, right? Driving through Indiana, and I pull into a truck weigh station. And I don't get pulled over by state police or DOT, but I got pulled in for ICE agents. And they asked for my ID, asked confirmation on where I live, and it was crazy. They were inspecting every truck that was crossing through that region in Indiana, and we were in Chesterton, Indiana, which is about 45 minutes to an hour away from Chicago. I was not expecting it. Totally caught me off guard.
ABL, they're targeting brown people. They hate brown people. They hate Mexicans. This guy appears to be pretty white to me. There's no way that if I saw him in his window driving the truck, I would think that he's anything other than white. And I've seen videos from black guys, Hispanic guys, Indian guys, white guys. It don't matter. You driving the truck? Okay, we're going to see what's going on, because contrary to what the mainstream media would tell you, illegal aliens don't just come from Mexico. They come from the whole world, everywhere. They had a white Canadian at the southern border. They had a white Canadian at the southern border in Mexico trying to get into the USA illegally. A lot of Chinese coming across, a lot of Africans coming across, a lot of Caribbeans, a lot of Europeans, Asians, everybody from everywhere. I think they said in 1 year, they caught not just the ones that may have crossed, they caught 400,000 people from 190 countries. That's every country. Like East Timor and Singapore and stuff like this. Okay. Seychelles. Do you even know where that is? Comoros. Do you know where that is? They coming across. So yeah, we going to check everybody. It's not about race. It's not about skin color, nothing like that. We want to make sure that we have people who should be behind the wheel of the truck driving the truck. That you're here legally, that everything's on the up and up. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. And I think in the future, if you get a CDL, maybe it should have your name on it. I'm saying maybe your name should be on it. Like, imagine having a regular license where it just say, okay, you're just a random guy and we're going to give you, your name should be on the actual thing. Okay. Now, speaking about the 400,000 migrants, the 400,000 illegal aliens, let's talk about how many migrants Trump has deported versus Barack Obama. And then the person who's being asked about this, see how their answer changes depending upon who is being mentioned as far as the deportation versus Trump versus Obama. Check it out.
Trump has deported 3.1 million illegal immigrants. What is your take on that?
I think that the world deserves answers, and I think that it's deplorable that the U.S. president is doing that to his own citizens currently.
So what if I told you that actually President Obama deported 3.1 million illegal immigrants and Trump only deported 400,000 so far?
I think that it's a different situation because you're not deporting parents of small children and leaving the children in this country. You're not sending them to concentration camps and alligator Alcatraz and all of that. It's a totally different, inhumane situation.
So Obama did send people to ICE facilities. He used ICE to arrest people and deport them. They were ICE deportations. I mean, it was more or less the same exact process when he did it to 3 million people.
Yes, but it was just a different situation, and it's not being publicized in the same way and made to make people look like criminals and look inhumane.
Where did you learn that the Trump administration was mistreating people? How do you know that?
Because of every single news source that's out there.
What kind of news do you watch? Like what's your go-to news source?
I watch a lot of NPR, NBC, ABC News, things like that.
Do you ever watch Fox?
I do not watch Fox.
Okay.
No.
You got to tune in for both sides, I think. At least see what the other side's saying.
Okay, so look, toward the end, she was right there. It's not being publicized now the way it was back then. Back then, it was okay. It wasn't really a big deal. ICE were not called Nazis and all this, and they did not call the ICE detention facilities concentration camps. It wasn't covered the same then as it is now. It's being blown up now to provoke a negative opinion about the whole situation. So she recognized what was going on, but still could not just say, you know what? Okay, I'll watch the other side and see what's going on. I'm going to just stick to my guns. I know I'm being manipulated. I know that they are showing it differently now, but I'm going to still just stay where I'm at. I'm still not going to take any action to find out what's really happening in my country. That tells you right there, the brain washing is real. You could be presented with the evidence and even acknowledge that the evidence exists. You can acknowledge that you're wrong, but you're still going to hold on to your beliefs. And with that, what can you really do? People like that, I'll talk to a lot. I'm trying to explain something to them, and it's just not. I ain't going to squabble with you. I ain't going back and forth. That right there was a good conversation. He don't got to do too much squabbling. He could just talk a little bit and then leave it alone. And then hopefully at a certain point, she could just sit, think about it, and then realize the error of her ways. That's what I hope. That's right, Kamala's neck. That's a funny name. Kamala's neck says Stockholm Syndrome all day long. Big Stockholm Syndrome, for sure. 100%. Now, do y'all remember the whole Martha's Vineyard situation? Hold on. I got to find that because that was one of the funniest videos I've ever seen in my life. When the migrants came to Martha's Vineyard, when I think that was, who was that, DeSantis that sent them to Martha's Vineyard? Okay, this was what, about 2-3 years ago? Okay, if you don't remember, I'm going to just show it because we have some liberal people, liberal adjacent folk talking about it. Okay, hold on. This, I think, is the illegal aliens being bussed away after being in Martha's Vineyard for 24 to 48. I think it might have been 48 hours. Within 48 hours, all the migrants were bussed off the island or bussed off this place and then sent to a military base off the coast, Massachusetts. Getting them right up out of here. Okay, hey, we love migrants. We love you guys, but nah, not really. Not really. Now, here is a little bit more from back then of the whole Martha's Vineyard kerfuffle.
So,
what are the most difficult challenges right now?
The difficult challenges are we have, at some point in time, they have to move from here to somewhere else, right? We don't have the services to take care of 50 immigrants, and we certainly don't have housing. We're in a housing crisis as we are on this.
You don't have housing in Martha's Vineyard where there's plenty of vacation homes that sit empty. You don't have housing that you want to be able to lend to the migrants. And it's only 50 of them. It was only 50 of them. So imagine the thousands upon tens of thousands and millions that we must deal with in this country, not in Martha's Vineyard.
Island, and so that we can't house everyone here that lives here and works here. We don't have housing for 50 more people.
Okay, so that right there just meant, you know what? We love the migrants. We're gonna what they say, the poem on the Statue of Liberty, whatever they give us, you're tired and you're weary. We gonna do that, but not here, not in my backyard. NIMBY, typical. Okay, and this was the iconic scene. The iconic scene. The white woman with her nice hat from, hold on, before I continue, where do you think she got her outfit from? And the hat and all of that? I feel like I may have been in the mall one time and I seen the store where I feel like if you walk in there, they're going to follow you. I don't know. But anyway, how much do you think this outfit costs, especially the little hat right here? Te amo. I love that you're leaving. That's what's going on. So this is a classic meme. The face white liberals make when the migrants are being sent off of Martha's Vineyard, when they're being deported off Martha's Vineyard. The same ones who say we should not deport them and it's racist to deport are the ones who are going to get you out of there. They're going to call the police and be like, look, ICE, hey, okay, I know I said what I said at the protest, right? I get it. But yo, come get them right now. 48 hours is too long. We don't got all of this time for 50 human beings to be here. Okay, now let's go forward to today. This is going to be Jessica Tarlov and Katie Couric. And you know Jessica Tarlov from Fox, and Katie Couric, of course, is Katie Couric. Let's watch some of this.
On the immigration front, there was a tendency amongst Democrats, and especially Democrats who are discussing the issue, so people who do interviews or are part of the media, to minimize it over the first 2.5 years when there were a lot of people coming in here. And I thought that it was a stunt, you know, when they started busing migrants. They go to Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah.
It was the smartest thing they ever did.
Well, it's interesting because I have a friend who lives in Florida, and I said, what did you think of Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott taking some of these immigrants and moving them to northern states? And she said, I thought it was great because nobody really was paying attention before that. And I do think that this untold story was the strain on social services and communities, particularly along the border. This influx, huge influx of immigrants was having. And I think the mainstream media, however you define that these days, kind of ignored that story to its peril.
Absolutely. So it was definitely, if it was a stunt, it was a good stunt because it made them notice. Because with a lot of people, especially your upper crust, your elites, the ones who will protest for the migrants to be here illegally, they don't deal with the consequences of that action because they don't live in the areas where the criminal migrants are going to be. All they're worried about keeping the guy cutting their grass. That's why they say stuff like that. That's why they say, oh, fruit pickers and bed makers and grass, because that's all they see them as. They don't see them as a full person. They don't see the good and the bad. But we, the people who are not on Martha's Vineyard and not up in the Hollywood Hills, we see everything. The good, the bad, the ugly. And there's too much of the bad and the ugly from these people who are not here legally. That's the key. It's not even about immigrant. It's about illegal alien. We see too much bad from them to just act like it's okay, which is why it was the biggest issue of the 2024 election. And if they continue to try to double down on this, blocking the ICE raids, it'll be the biggest issue beginning 2026, 2028. And it ain't never going to stop until they stop. Okay, ain't never going to stop. So, yeah, I'm glad that the ICE raids are happening and we got to keep on keeping on. Okay, but if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. Now, government shutdown. I'm seeing some of these videos. They're talking about the sky looks clearer because of the government shutdown, meaning no chemtrails in the sky. If y'all believe in chemtrails, I don't know. Like, I see some of this stuff in the sky, but I'm not sure what that is. They say it's chemtrails, but I don't know. They do so much stuff that I can't really keep track of all of what happens. So it ain't nothing to this video. Government shuts down and suddenly 90s style clouds from my childhood are back. Question mark. Coincidence? I think not. So I'm going to ask y'all, have y'all seen a difference in the sky? Is there a difference in the air quality? What's going on? What I do notice is that it's not been raining. It rained a little bit, but not a whole lot. For 40 days and 40 nights in the summertime, I felt like it was raining every day. For 40 days and 14 nights, it felt like it was raining consistently. But now we got like this whole big time of no rain for like 2 weeks ahead, I think. Like, what do y'all think? Is it just people putting out videos, people putting out content? It's not really a real thing. Or is it something? Y'all let me know. I think they definitely mess with the weather, but I think when they talk about climate change, they're not really giving you the full story. They're talking about cows farting and stuff like this, but they're not talking about other things that we do that could potentially impact the weather. And they don't talk about the sun and the magnetic North Pole. They don't talk about any of that. All they talk about is cows farting and cars. They talk about stuff that's really nothing in the greater scheme of things. But there are other things that are something. Okay. And before I continue, Minnesota, did you guys know Minnesota is one of many states that gives healthcare to illegal aliens? We're told that the illegal aliens contribute a lot. They bring a lot of money, but all the time I keep seeing different places, different states, the federal government, everywhere, where we spend so much money. My question is it a net positive or a net negative? Let's really just understand what's happening. Okay, Minnesota, again, illegal aliens on healthcare should be coming to an end.
So I was scanning this over. This is from the Department of Human Services. This is a Minnesota healthcare programs update, and there's one thing in here that I found interesting. Changes to Minnesota Care citizenship requirements beginning January 1st, 2026. Undocumented non-citizens who are 18 years or older are not eligible for Minnesota Care. So I was scanning this over.
There we go. So, hey, Minnesota, California, a lot of these places, y'all got to stop all this illegal alien healthcare. Got to come to an end. And the fact that you got to send stuff like that out there lets us know when they say that illegal aliens are not getting healthcare, they're not getting this and not getting that, or they are. And they've been getting it for a long time. And there's plenty of other scams that go on. A lot of scamming, whole lot of scamming, big time scamming. So yeah, shout out to them. Hey, it was a good run. Hey, y'all had a good run, but now it's over with. You got to go ahead and go back over yonder. You got to go ahead and go back over yonder. Okay. Now, speaking of scamming, this is going to be Canada panhandling. And this right here, see, this is why I don't give anybody any money on the street. Ever. I don't care how bad they look. I don't care. It's been plenty of times where I'm leaving a restaurant, I'm leaving the grocery store, I'm going anywhere, just anywhere I happen to be out. I'm leaving, and if somebody coming up to me begging for money, and sometimes they pop out on you like kind of like a genie in the bottle, like out of nowhere. I remember one time I'm going to Panera Bread. I had a meeting. This is many years ago. I pull up to the spot, lady pop out of nowhere, give me a whole big story. And it's like, they got a strategy. Before you even know it, they enter their story. Before you even can see who this person is and lock eyes with them, they already on paragraph number 2 of their story. Well, my mama died and I got a brand new basketball and my car broke. Really, I'm good. Don't worry about it. I hope you get your basketball back and get some air in it, and you can get a new car and you can drive to your doctor's appointment that you got to go to right now. I hope you get all that, but I can't help you. If I want to help those who are in need, I will donate physical items to a food pantry. I'll give clothes to the Goodwill. I'll do something like that. I'll volunteer my time. What I want to do really is Habitat for Humanity. I'll do something like that. I'll go out there and paint your house and take stuff, I frame. I'll do stuff like that. I'll volunteer my time, but I would never give you $1 on the street, and stuff like this is why.
So I guess her shift is on. It's time to start begging for money. She's gonna relieve her sister. You have a little break. They got the same sign. They got clean clothes, clean socks. Nothing wrong with them. Gotta love it.
They working. They're just at work. Some of us, you got to go to an office, you work remote, whatever you do. You're outside working, inside working. But with them, they're outside working as well. Their job is to panhandle with these pitiful signs. Okay, I'm trying to get to the train station. I'm trying to go to the gas station. My son needs football team money. I'm good. Don't worry about it. I'm good. And the worst ones are the gypsies when they come up to you talking about, I have a ring. Are you a hobbit? Are you Gollum? What is this ring? Are you the Green Lantern? If I take this ring, Will I become a superhero? Will I be able to move mountains with my mind? Like, I don't want your ring, sir. Your ring has come from the gutter of Cairo, Egypt. And it's probably just tourist trash. I don't want it. But that's how they be. Come up to you in the vehicle, taco meat all over their chest. Okay, no buttons on their shirt. Taco meat looking like DJ Khaled. It's like, bro, I don't want that ring. Again, and that right there is a form of giving people money on the street. No thanks. Now, we got a peace deal. Okay, we got a potential peace deal. Hopefully the peace deal sticks. And you know, the funny part is the people in Gaza who are going through whatever they're going through want the peace deal to work. They're praying for the peace deal to work. But the wokesters on the left in the USA, the ones that say free Palestine, free Gaza, may all the Gazans be safe, we love Gaza, they do not want the peace deal to actually go through. Why? I thought y'all wanted Gaza to be free. I thought y'all wanted Palestinians, Gazans, whatever you call them, to be safe. I thought y'all wanted the war to come to an end. So why would you be against the deal going through? It's because really what it's about is something else. It's about anti-West, anti-Trump, anti-conservative, anti. If Trump ended the war and there was no more death, they would still find a way to be upset. That's kind of what we're dealing with right here. Okay, but we got Hillary. Okay, we got Hillary talking about the deal. Now let's see what she says about the deal. Let's see if she gives Trump credit or not.
It's a really significant first step, and I really commend President Trump and his administration, as well as Arab leaders in the region, for making the commitment to the 20-point plan and seeing a path forward for what's often called the day after. Most importantly, the conflict hopefully will end with the ceasefire. The hostages will be returned. And then the very hard work of rebuilding Gaza, of finding the kind of security that Israel and the Palestinians after Hamas deserve to have, moving forward with the other points in the plan to try to create an opportunity for Palestinians to have a better life and for Israel to have greater peace and security. I am very hopeful that we'll be able to see progress. Today's a good start, but we have to keep going from here.
All right, there we go. So I want to say one thing, though. Can we go back to Gaza? Y'all see that? It's like, all right, my question is, what are you going to do with all that rubble? Like, what are we going to do with this area? It appears to be leveled. Are we going to rebuild like affordable housing? Like, what's going on? I don't know. You know, I hope that the deal goes through and that things can return to a sense of normalcy. But what is to be done with these totally destroyed areas? I guess we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, shout out to Trump for making something happen. And the Nobel Peace Prize. So many thought Trump should have got that because he has brokered a lot of peace deals all over the world for many years now. But definitely in the past year, he's done quite a bit. But Maria Corina Machado, the opposition leader in Venezuela, she won the award. And you know the funniest part about that, going back to my point about the left, hey, if Trump does anything good, if Trump gets any praise, it's always seen as negative. So somebody was saying the only reason why this woman is giving Trump credit and dedicating her win to him is because she doesn't want to get deported. It's like, newsflash, buddy. Newsflash, pal. She lives in Venezuela. How is Trump going to deport her from Venezuela? She's not in the USA. She is the Venezuelan opposition leader. So that means she lives in Venezuela. Anyway, let's hear from her.
And they decided to dedicate it to President Trump because he deserves it. Because not only has he been involved in only a few months in solving 8 wars, but his actions have been decisive to have Venezuela now at a threshold of freedom after 26 years of tyranny that have destroyed the lives of millions of Venezuela, destabilized the region, and undermined the institutions in the United States, because having Venezuela as a safe haven of the enemies of the United States and using our territory and our resources to hurt the American people and American institutions is certainly a threat to the national security of the United States and the security of the hemisphere. But President Trump has been very clear, courageous in terms of dismantling this criminal structure. And on behalf of the Venezuelan people, I reaffirmed our gratitude and our commitment to this cause for the whole America. So I insist he deserves it.
There we go. So the Nobel Prize winner herself says that Trump deserves it and her win is dedicated to him. Some are going to say, oh, this is fake. It's AI. Nah. This is real. This is real. Okay. And it's okay to give the orange man credit. It's totally fine. Okay. Now here's Vladimir Putin responding to Trump not winning. Basically, because he's going to speak in Russian, he says the fact that he didn't win means that the award has lost credibility. So we're getting world leaders all over. We're getting everybody in America, the Democrats, Republicans, international leaders saying the same thing.
Это не мне решать, кому присуждать Нобелевскую премию. Во-первых, мне кажется.
Before we continue, I want to respond to a comment. Somebody said, "Say ABL, you need a bigger platform. What's holding you up?" Well, what do you mean bigger? How do you get a bigger platform? Do you sign with a company to get you to a particular place? Do you spend a bunch of money to get to a particular place? Because you can see someone who appears to have a bigger platform, but think about what their overhead is. Think about who they had to sign with, who they had to go into business with. All of that matters. And then when you have ups and downs, it's big ups and downs. And also it's a lot more that goes into it than you think. It's a lot more that goes into it. We've seen content creators die. I put it to you that way. Like it's definitely real. But I like kind of what I do. I like the way I do things. I have total freedom. I'm never in a situation where I got to segment each minute of my day. I can be free with what I do. Also, you should want people who are free to tell you what they want to tell you. And they're not thinking about sponsors. They're not thinking about the company I signed with, my managerial team, my employees. You know, that can compromise your message. And I'm not trying to say that about anybody. I'm just saying it can't happen to people in general. So I knew from the beginning when I first started working in general back in early 2000s, the best way to be is to be independent because you could be your own boss. You have more control over what you are able to put out. But anyway, my man Vladimir Putin talking about Trump, saying that since he didn't win a Nobel Prize, the prize has lost validity.
Это не мне решать, кому присуждать Нобелевскую премию. Во-первых, мне кажется, и вряд ли кто-нибудь из вас или из ваших зрителей и слушателей будет возражать, вряд ли. Сейчас скажу, что я имею в виду. Были случаи, когда комитет этот присуждал Нобелевскую премию мира людям, которые для мира ничего не сделали.
So far, he said they've given the prize to undeserving people.
И, на мой взгляд, этими решениями они нанесли огромный ущерб авторитету этой премии.
And those choices hurt the award reputation. So you're giving it to people that don't deserve it rather than those who do, like Trump. It hurts the prize reputation. And I agree with that. It's just like some of these award shows on television, some of these Hollywood award shows, Emmys, Golden Globes, or whatever. I stopped caring about that kind of stuff 20 years ago, 25 years ago, back when I was like early 20s, because I've realized at an early age, I want to say maybe in like high school, college, I realized that all these shows do is just reward those who are in the same industry. It's the industry celebrating itself and trying to promote itself, but it's not always about greatness. So you can't really put any kind of thought process into that. You can't really judge anything based on that. Nobel Peace Prize, same thing. When you give it to undeserving people, it becomes the same thing. You realize that it's just whoever they want to celebrate for whatever the reason may be, whoever they want to promote for whatever the reason they want to promote it. That's why they're giving the award, not for actual accomplishments of any sort. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, and CNN has to look at the Israelis over there.
Of course, endless.
Wearing the MAGA hats. Let me just zoom in a little bit like this so you can see it better. There we go.
Applause for President Trump. Endless applause for President Trump.
And when I was there, I even saw people wearing Make America Great Again hats in that crowd over at Hostage Square.
And of course, endless applause for President Trump. Endless applause for President Trump.
And when I was there, I even saw people wearing Make America Great Again hats in that crowd over at Hostage Square.
And
there we go. So shout out Wolf. I did not know Wolf was still... I didn't know he was still living or still working. Shout out Wolf. He got to be how old now? Wolf Blitzer is 77. Okay. Yeah. And then somebody said it. I have less stress. I have zero stress. Yeah. And that's what you don't want. That's a silent killer. You be stressed out and trying to meet deadlines and always on the, you're going to have to, you get burned out. And then once you get burned out, there's nothing you could do. At that point, you pretty much, you're at the mercy of your own body, your mind. It's no good. Now, these are the Gazans coming back. Okay. And you can see how you got a beach right here. That's nice. But there's a bunch of destruction right there as well.
It is that obviously the ceasefire is holding. The ceasefire is working. These people feel free to make their way north. They are walking along a main seaside route along the Mediterranean, heading north towards Gaza City. And as you pointed out in the last hour, many of them on foot for a number of different reasons, either too poor to own a car, the fact that their cars could have been destroyed in the war, but also their cars could have been confiscated by Hamas during the war. That happened quite a bit. And finally, a lot of the roads so badly damaged after 2 years of fighting, on foot is the only way to travel. And you can see many of these people carrying their belongings. Many of them have been displaced multiple times during this war. And as Brian noted, the clock has begun. Now 72 hours until Hamas has to release the hostages. That would put the deadline at 5 a.m. on Monday. Prime Minister Netanyahu gave an address to the nation a short time ago. He said Hamas not only has to give up all the hostages, but they will also have to disarm. Here's the...
So that is that. Now, do y'all see the hostages being released? Will the deal go through? I hope so for everybody's sake over there. I hope so, because the fighting in that particular region never stops. So if it does stop, that'll just be, if the fighting stops, which I hope that it does stop, that'd be tremendous, because fighting never stops over there. So that'd be a Herculean feat if Trump's able to accomplish it. Okay. Now we got Barack Obama. I don't know. Listen, Barack Obama is not walking through the door to become president again. Neither is Big Mike. So they're trotting him out to try and have him rally up Americans, but I'm not sure it'll work.
Like many of you, I've become increasingly concerned about the rising wave of authoritarianism sweeping the globe. We're seeing politicians target civil society, undermine freedom of the press, weaponize the justice system. And no one is being spared. Even countries that thought they were immune from wholesale assaults on democracy now understand we're all part of this struggle. That's an enormous challenge. Like many of you,
It ain't really hitting the same no more, Obama. The hope and change 2008 energy, it ain't hitting the same, man. Back then, you could kind of like feel it. It was something in the air. It was a certain little texture in the air you could feel. You could taste it. You could feel it. But now it's just like who are you? It ain't really. Hang it up, bro. Just hang it on up, man. It ain't. Now, okay, we got the government shutdown. So as a result of the government shutdown, you had some of the troops going to food pantries. But of course, now we know that the troops will be paid on the 15th as normal. Hold on. Let me put an article up right quick. Okay, let me pay that right quick. Let me not pay that. Show that right quick. Okay. And this, I believe, came out before or after the troops video at the food pantry. But you see right here, Trump says administration has identified funds to pay troops next week. This is 3 hours ago. This came out. President Donald Trump said Saturday that we have identified funds to pay military troops on October the 15th as the government shutdown is headed into a third week. In the post to the Truth Social, Trump said he will direct our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to use all available funds to get our troops paid on October the 15th. The funds for military paychecks will be pulled from the Pentagon's research and development money as available for 2 years, according to a spokesperson for the White House Office of Management and Budget. There we go. So the troops will be paid. So when you see stuff like this, okay, the troops at the food bank, that's not necessary no more because they're going to get the money on the 15th as normal. You know, the troops get paid first and the 15th. Okay.
Take a step aside here. There is quite a bit of military members and their families in line because of this government.
Operation Bread. That's TJ said Operation Bread Basket. That's a good one.
As I take a step aside here, there is quite a bit of military members and their families in line because of this government shutdown. We're in day 9 of it, and they're here for a food pantry. There's all sorts of food that is available, and I spoke with some military member spouses, and I spoke with some department heads here at the ASYMCA on why this is so important. What's the difference in the amount of people that you've seen from today to previously?
So when we first started coming, there definitely wasn't this amount of people. It was a lot, but it wasn't this amount to where it wrapped around the building. But lately it has been a lot. Like we were here last week and we were in line for like 2 hours.
In a normal week, we usually run out of food about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Last week we ran out of food about 10:30.
As I take a step aside here.
So there we go. So again, your troops will be paid on the 15th as per usual. So that's good. That's a good sign. Hopefully we get this government shutdown thing out the way pretty soon here. And of course, Hakeem Jeffries tried to hop on that whole video we just saw. Timu Obama. Let's watch some of this.
You're already seeing paychecks missed, soldiers lining up at food kitchens. Are you concerned that this fight for health care that Democrats are waging here might end up hurting Americans the longer the shutdown drags out?
Republicans have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They decided to shut the government down. Republicans in the House have decided to remain on vacation. Republicans canceled votes last week, they canceled votes this week, and now they've canceled votes next week. They're not serious about reopening the government. Republicans aren't even serious about paying our active duty troops.
But they have voted for temporary government funding legislation.
Republicans have voted for a partisan spending bill that continues to gut the health care of the American people.
When you say it continues to gut the health care of the American people, do you mean illegal aliens? Because we got to define American. What does that mean? Does American mean citizen of the USA, legal permanent resident, green card holder, undocumented, illegal, border hopper? What does that mean, Hakeem Jeffries? I'm having a hard time being able to understand. And I think once you're able to define that, then we can get down to the bottom of it. Now we can understand why there's a lockdown. Now we can understand why. But yeah, all I got to do is just relinquish the whole thing about trying to give the illegal aliens all these monies, and then we're good to go. There's no problem. If you do that, then there's no problems. You don't got to worry about nothing. Okay, you don't got to worry about any of it at all. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, we got some more things to cover here. Oh, Don Lemon. I had to get to this one. I wanted to get this one like really, really soon. So look, speaking about the illegal aliens, right? That's always going to be like a big topic. Don Lemon is not smart. I was going to say the R word. It starts with an R and ends with an E target, but I didn't say that because I'm a nice guy. But listen, Don Lemon is not an intelligent person because he's not understanding a basic thing. He doesn't understand that a misdemeanor is a crime. It is a crime. It's not considered a serious crime, but it is a crime. Let's watch this, and you're going to see two randos on the street try to explain that to him, but it's just not registering in his brain.
Okay, crossing the border illegally is not a crime?
No, it's not a criminal act. Okay. It's a misdemeanor.
So why are they being sent back and saying that they're breaking the law?
That's the point.
Okay, as somebody that actually...
We don't know if they're breaking the law because they won't tell. There's no due process. Where's the evidence? That's the whole point. And if they are breaking the law, most people will say, okay, then they need to go if they're criminals. But if they're not, why are they being rounded up and sent out? Especially when he promised to deport the criminals. And now he's not doing that.
Yeah, I don't think we're going...
Misdemeanor is not a crime, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So misdemeanor is not a crime?
It's not a criminal act, no. If you get charged with a misdemeanor, that's not a criminal act.
So why get charged at all then, if it's not a criminal act?
Because we have different levels of crime. Everything is not the same.
So it is crime.
So, okay. Are you hearing yourself, Don Lemon? You say a misdemeanor is not a crime. Then you say there's different levels of crime. Do you hear yourself? If you heard yourself, you would hear the truth. But you don't listen to the point where you don't even hear your own self talking. You're so focused on just trying to be right in this instance, you're not listening to them or yourself.
No, we have different levels of. I shouldn't say crime, but it's not a crime. You're not breaking the law. I mean, you are breaking the law, but it's not a criminal act.
So you're not. It's not a criminal act, but you are breaking the law. How are you breaking the law if it's not a criminal act? How does it really work?
Breaking the law, but it's not a criminal act.
So it's breaking the law.
No, you're not breaking the law.
The misdemeanor is not breaking the law.
No.
So if you're speeding, drinking, get pulled over, DUI.
That's not a criminal act. Well, no, if you're speeding is a misdemeanor.
It's a misdemeanor.
Right.
So it's still breaking the law.
Okay, well, if you want to qualify that, we're doing semantics.
That's not semantics, bro. You got to understand what a crime is. A misdemeanor is a crime. It is considered a low-level offense, usually. You can get locked up for a misdemeanor. That is possible, depending upon what you got going, priors, whatever the severity of it is. But it is a crime. Even if you only get sentenced to community service or you pay a fine or there's no actual punishment, it is a crime.
But what I'm trying to tell you is everything is not the same. It's all not one thing.
But is it the law?
What? Is it the law that what?
Is it a law to come over legally? Is there a law?
There are rules processes that you should follow. Yeah, so you're breaking rules. You're breaking the rules, but you're not necessarily breaking a law.
So what happens when you break the rules?
Then you start with the consequence.
Hey, my man right there, I love you, bro, because you're doing the exact same thing that I do. The whole, let's lean forward. Come on, man. You almost right there. Come on. If you break the rule, what happens? Come on. You're almost right there, Don Lemon. If you just were focused on listening to them and having them educate you, you'd be able to understand what's going on. Then they could just teach you a thing you don't know. And listen, Don Lemon was on cable news for many years. This tells you all that he could do was just read a teleprompter. He doesn't even know what he's reading.
Necessarily breaking a law.
So what happens when you break the rules?
Then you start with the consequences. But the consequences should not. Look, no one is saying no one should start with the consequences. You guys are getting things mixed up.
No, we're not getting things mixed up. So, okay, if you break a rule, what can the consequences be if it's not a criminal act? How can the United States government punish me for breaking the rule if it's not a law? Like, what crime have I committed for there to be a punishment against me? if I sign up for a thing or go into private property and I break a rule, then I can be removed from the premises. But you're talking about entering the country illegally, and the country has rules. I see you laughing emojis, and I see, and there's a rule on the entry. That means it's a law. And if I violate it, then I'm punished under the law, and the punishment will be appropriate per the law. You know what? People like Don Lemon, they morons, and I feel like they didn't have good education. When I was a kid, I got good education, great education. One of the main things we were taught was the who, what, where, when, why. I know you guys are smart. You were taught the exact same thing. So when there is some kind of issue, some kind of conflict, a thing you don't really know, let's ask the who, the what, the where, the when, the why. Who made the rule that says it's illegal to come into the country illegally? Why is it a rule? Where does the rule apply? Why do we have the rule? Let's look at all of that. And then once we ask those questions, oh, it's illegal. Oh, we're trying to prevent criminals from coming in. Oh, you got to be a citizen to be here. You got a paperwork. You got a documentation. Man, a moron, a whole big crazy moron. And there was something else I wanted to show. There was a different guy talking crazy as well. I mean, another CNN guy. Hold on. If you like what you're hearing so far, I know what to do. Give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, there was one more I had to show. I gotta find it because it's kind of like buried in here and on my tabs. Don Lemon, that guy right there, he is one of the worst in the world. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to find that, but I'll keep on moving here. I will keep on rocking and rolling. There's quite a bit to get into. Okay, I thought I had it. I don't. Let's keep moving. Okay, did you guys see Steven Crowder in the barbershop? Did y'all see that? Did you stop? So Steven Crowder, okay. To his credit, he's done it before in the barbershop, in the same barbershop, going to have a conversation. I tried to watch somebody on YouTube, but I can't. I just can't. I gotta do one of those myself. I might go to that same barbershop he went to or another one and do this same thing and have a real conversation.
Bad decision.
I think he was trying to have a real conversation, but it was a little bit too, I don't know. You need a guy like me to do that, in my opinion. So here is Steven Crowder in the barbershop talking about black man bad.
Bad decisions, personal accountability. We'd all be against reparations, and we'd all be against the criminal justice reform.
I'm definitely for reparations.
I'm for reparations. See, that to me, you said excuse.
Yeah.
That sounds like an excuse to me.
You ain't paid me back. You ain't paid me for what you owe me.
What did I take from you?
You can't start another bill
what did I take
until
from you?
You pay this old bill.
What did I take from you?
You didn't take but your ancestors.
But you just said you.
When I say you, I meant...
I almost called him Jimmy Kimmel. Steven Crowder, come on. You know he didn't mean you specifically, Steven Crowder. You're not even an American.
But can you understand why white people hear it and get pissed off?
Yeah.
Because I can take shit.
But they're not mad about the advantages that were built into their lives.
So you want young people to pay? Sounds like an excuse.
And even without paying us back, Steve, know my thoughts are on this here. Give us an opportunity to exercise our ability and our autonomy. Let me give you a perfect example.
Bad decisions.
See, right there, I just felt like nothing was really said. It's like, okay, reparations. It's a topic that it's a dead horse. And I felt like it's good for clicks, but it's a dead horse because it's a topic that goes nowhere. It's brought up as a thing to discuss, but it's a fruitless conversation because it never happened. Whatever the government has given the blacks is all they're going to give. And it's simple. So having that conversation, I don't really get it. Who cares? The people who most of the community are going to vote for don't care. All they're going to do every now and again is say, we're going to launch a study. That is the funniest thing in the world. Listen, whenever I see a reparations study get launched, I saw one in Atlanta recently. okay, we're going to launch a study. All right, what does that mean? That means jobs for that means jobs for I gotta look up study. All that means is jobs for guys who look just like this in Atlanta. Stephen Crowder. Stephen Crowder's Canadian cousins will get jobs to be on that team. Study reparations. They'll put out a report. They'll get paid to do that job, and then that'll be it. So it's stupid. It's a dumb conversation to have. I don't know. Okay, now there's one more from this particular thing about the white fatigue and black fatigue.
Fed up, and we tired of all these school shootings and all of these road rage and all that. Who do we say something to? Who hears our voice?
And when does the white fatigue kick in?
And when does the white fatigue kick in?
Well, we've been hearing about that's the point, right? We've been hearing about it all our lives, about white fatigue, about systemic discrimination.
But nothing's ever been done. That's the problem. It has been done.
Now, I guess they're trying to counter the whole black fatigue argument by saying, well, you white guys do things, the school shooters or whatever. I feel like we've been hearing about black and white grievances our whole lives. Black man do this, white man do that. We've been hearing about that our whole lives. So I feel like while Crowder is correct in what he's saying about we've been hearing about what the white man is doing wrong our whole lives, it's been the same thing for the other side. It's just that sometimes in a lot of these urban environments, the wrongdoers get slaps on the wrist because you got sympathetic judges, a lot of times looking just like this person right here. And they say, well, Walmart Tavius, he wanted to be a scientist, even though he's 18 and can't read. So I'm gonna give him a slap on the wrist. We don't like that as much as y'all don't like that. I think we could start there and then take it from there, because that's the problem. The people that are committing the acts of violence who are not punished appropriately. I say lock them all up. Lock them up. Everybody that is a violent offender, rather than them getting like a slap on the wrist, no jail time, zero cash bail. Haven't we seen stories of people getting locked up for, let's say, a murder, right? Locked up for suspicion of killing someone. They are released with zero cash bail, go outside and kill somebody right away. Let's start right there. If we got a problem with black fatigue, let's start right there, because that's going to impact everyone. And for real, let's talk about this. Since I'm right here and I want to talk tonight, the black criminality impacts guys look like me more than any of you in this whole world. Whether you white, black, candy stripe, a black man is more likely to be a victim of a crime in this country more than anybody else. Anybody. So I should be the main one shot from the mountaintop. I know how to solve it. You got to go hard on these criminals. Go hard. When they commit crime, punish them appropriately. Now, I saw some white guys talking about kill them, and when there's a crime that's committed, you have to punish them appropriately. It can't be a slap on the wrist. It can't be either extreme of no punishment or hang them for stealing the candy bar. It's got to be punish them for the crime that they commit. Simple as that. But if you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Adam K says, sorry, ABL. What do you mean we don't like this? Black Republicans? The average black person likes it. What? Likes what? Likes being a victim of crime? Likes getting shot and killed? You think we like that? Why would you say that? You think the average black person likes getting shot and killed? Like, you think the average black person likes drive-by shootings, having to duck down and dodge bullets? What are you saying? I don't understand. Like, you talking about rap songs and stuff like this? Or are we talking about actual violence in the street? People die. You think we like going to funerals? You think we like going to... I went to a funeral of a 16-year-old. Like, I've heard about funerals where they had double caskets, 8-year-olds. You think we like that? Come on, man. Like, be serious. The average person, it don't matter what color they are, does not like the violence. The problem is it's the same small population of people that do the same thing over and over again. Okay? Then there's the myth of this whole anti-snitching thing. everybody tells in the streets. Everybody, especially the criminals. They're the first one to tell. We've seen First 48. We've seen First 48 where they bring in the Big Mama figure, and then and Walmart Tavias get to crying immediately and tell on everybody. We've seen that. Okay. We've seen it. So it's not even really nothing. You find what kind of sending? I do too. Stephen Crowder. I'm not really a Crowder fan. I respect what he's trying to do with the conversations, and I respect his platform. He has a really big following, and I'm not a hater at all. I respect what he does, but his attitude, his demeanor, I'm not really the biggest fan of. But maybe it's not for me, and that's okay. It's totally fine. Totally fine. But yeah, that's what that is. Hold on. I'm reading some of the comments. Y'all please pardon me. I'm getting caught up in the comments. I saw one, but I missed it. Yeah, I didn't missed it. It's all right. It probably won't important. It probably was not important, so it's fine. But let's keep on moving here. So yeah, I think all of us in the community, that the crime and the violence, that's what we are against. We're certainly against that. Okay, hold on. And I want to show something about the crime and the violence. This is going to be Gavin Newsom talking about Trump at an Antifa roundtable, and that's crime and violence right there. Gavin says, honestly, thought it was a still image when I first started watching. Let's watch some of this, and then I'm going to show what someone said to him in response, which was emblematic of what California is all about. But let's watch some of this.
That I've been covering violence in the streets. Just this year, just this year, it's always been from left-wing people, radical left-wing people. And it's not even just Antifa anymore. The shooting that happened in, the defensive shooting that happened in the Chicago area, that wasn't someone dressed in black bloc. That was just somebody that had taken.
So you get the idea. It's Antifa conversation. Trump is kind of a little bit sleepy. You're 79 years old, meetings all day. It could be like that. And Gavin has said, I thought it was a still picture when I first started watching because Trump's just sitting there or whatever. But how about this? My man right here says, honestly, I thought this was a still picture when I first started watching. Okay, nope. Just a Tuesday morning and Gavin Newsom's California. And you can see, listen, you can see what's happening right here. So, I mean, if that is going on in your city, your state, it's hard for you to really come at anybody with anything crazy. Okay, the dope fiending all over the place. This is not a normal scene. I don't care if it's downtown, because, a lot of the Californians, not you guys, but a lot of the Californians make excuses. Oh, it's just downtown ABL. It's not everybody ABL. You just picking and choosing one little neck of the, nah. This shouldn't be happening anywhere where you have people frozen in place, zombies, just doing whatever. Okay? That shouldn't be the case anywhere. Blocking entrances, blocking businesses, blocking walking paths. If I go to a city and I see that, I'm good. Let me get right back on the plane. And then in some cities you go to, you're going to see stuff like that. Right when you land, you in the Uber looking outside as Walking Dead. You like, where the lady with the spear at? And the dude with the hat, like, let's get the dude from Death Stranding to come back and whoop some hind parts out here in these streets, because you have the Walking Dead happening in real life. In real life. So shout out to Gavin Newsom. Gavin would like to extend that scene right there to the entirety of the USA in 2028. He will run. Mark my words. If Gavin does not run, I'll be flabbergasted. I'll be shocked. I'll be like, really, Gavin, you ain't going to run? Come on now. They've picked you. You've picked yourself. You got your skin nice and pink, ready for the occasion. Pretty in pink. That's you, Gavin Newsom. and you're not going to run, I'd be totally surprised. But hey, sometimes, you know, it's not always that way. Oh, and then speaking of California governors, okay, we got Katie Porter. Remember the angry lady? Okay, the angry lady. This is her right here in 2019. I guess it was a Halloween party or something like this, and she's dressed as Batman for some reason.
Congresswoman Porter, does Alfred get minimum wage? If you return the Batmobile, could you pay for the Green New Deal? Congresswoman Porter.
Okay, so there we go. First of all, I'm not really feeling the Batman outfit, but whatever. You know, costume party, okay, it's cool. That's fine. And then she goes in the bathroom, Starbucks drink, Dunkin' Donuts drink, whatever it is, straight on the floor right away. And let's slam the door. Boom. So that right there, California residents, this could be your next governor. So you guys ready? Are you excited for Miss Porter to be your next governor? Hey, all I can tell you is this. When you go to a meeting with her, don't be in her direct line of sight. You might get that Iraq George Bush treatment with the Timberland boot coming straight for your forehead. Okay, or her Starbucks drink, or them thigh-high boots, they're going to come straight for your dome piece. So don't get on her angry side. You're going to see Bruce Banner, Incredible Hulk, all in your TV screen. So yeah, shout out to her. And let's keep on rocking and rolling. We got a few more things to get into. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And where did I want to go next? There is a few things I want to get into before I keep moving. All right, hold on. Oh, Jasmine Crockett. So you guys have seen, maybe you have seen, maybe you haven't seen it, where Joe Biden has a health issue. Did y'all see that? Like, Joe Biden is taking radiation therapy. Ain't that called chemo? Wait a minute. Before I say anything wrong, isn't radiation therapy also known as chemotherapy for cancer? Am I right or wrong about that? Y'all let me know, because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I want to be totally correct. And I feel like they're saying radiation because chemo sounds worse. Now, I wish the best for Joe Biden. I don't wish harm on him. But I don't think it would have made sense to have someone. Is it not ready? Isn't it the same thing? Y'all saying I'm getting 50%, yes, 50%. No, that's funny. So if radiation and chemo are different, then how are they different? Let me know the difference. Either way it goes, he has cancer and he's undergoing radiation therapy and hormones. Well, I lost about radiation therapy. Let me just play this, and then I'm going to play something from Jasmine. All right, let's get some sound. RIP in advance to the headphone users.
Okay, we're back with a Fox News alert. Former President Joe Biden is now reportedly undergoing radiation therapy for his aggressive prostate cancer diagnosis. The treatment is expected to last 5 weeks, and we will keep you posted on this story, and our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family.
So there we go. Again, hopefully he's okay. Hopefully everything works out for the best. But I don't think it would have been wise to have someone undergoing cancer treatment, getting radiation therapy in office. I'm just saying. And I think we were able to see his decline in office, which is part of the reason why he lost, or why he was not able to actually run. But that's the reason why they pulled him before the actual DNC. That was crazy. That was a whole thing in itself. They saw him declining. They knew he was declining. And he probably had cancer in office, but they didn't tell us. Because that would have just made Americans afraid, like we had no actual leader, which would have been the case. Now, implication. This is Jasmine Crockett saying that she wants to launch an investigation into President Trump's health.
Being those people think he has made mistakes.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. People tried to talk about the mental acuity of Joe Biden, and as someone who was able to interact with him, I never questioned his mental acuity. But come on now, like you are crashing the economy. We are talking about record.
Implication being though.
Okay, so Joe Biden, who now has cancer and who's extremely old as dirt. Like, I play around about being old, but I am an infant compared to Joe Biden. People like this, I mean, why do I get attacked for being conservative and wanting to be someone who can do things for myself and help the community, help those around me? Why am I considered to be the bad person when a Jasmine Crockett gets on TV and lies, straight up lies to the Democratic Party on television, all over the country, in the big wig, lying? Why is she considered to be someone who is virtuous? It's because of the brainwashing that a lot of Americans have gone through. They don't know anything else. So when they're presented with a Jasmine Crockett, it just kind of makes sense to them. That's what's going on. So yeah, why would you try to monitor the president's health when you were ignoring the obvious health problems with your guy? Like, what's going on with that? All right. Now, Abigail Spanberger, the potential governor of Virginia. Well, hopefully she didn't win. She's a Democratic candidate. So you got Abigail Spanberger, the Democrat, up against Winsome Earl Sears, a Republican. Okay. Now, they said that Abigail Spanberger was comfortably in the lead in Virginia until the whole Jay Jones thing happened. Now, a lot of y'all were asking me about this dude, Jay Jones. They were like, ABL, did you hear about Jay Jones and what he said and the text messages and all this kind of stuff? And I had to just look into it and figure out what was happening. And if y'all have not seen this,
the unstable pull the trigger.
Pardon me. If y'all have not seen this, you got to check it out. So look, Jay Jones is the Virginia Democratic Party Attorney General candidate. So he's on the same ticket as Abigail Spanberger. She's running for governor. Then you got a lieutenant governor. Then you got this and that and the third. Jay Jones is part of the Democratic ticket as the potential attorney general. What Jay Jones did was send threatening text or threaten someone in the text, but not directly to them. The text get unearthed, and now, okay, we got an answer for this.
The unstable pull the triggers, but they are inspired by the hate tolerated and encouraged by the leadership of the Democrat Party.
Jay Jones, who's running for attorney general in Virginia, is being called to drop out of the race by a slew of Republican officials. Leaked text messages from 2022 show the Democrat calling for violence against former Republican Virginia House Speaker Todd Gilbert and his family. The text messages reveal Jones said he would rather shoot Gilbert over dictators Adolf Hitler and Pol Pot. Jones went on to say he believes Gilbert and his wife are, quote, breeding little fascists, and hoping his children would die. His Republican opponent, Attorney General Jason Miyares, slammed Jones in an open letter to all Virginians. Jay Jones wished for the violent death of a political opponent and then fantasized about that opponent's children dying. This conduct is disqualifying.
So yeah, you might not want to do something like that if you're trying to become an attorney general. If you got that out there, you got to answer for it. You have to answer. You could say, oh, I was just playing. Okay. Whatever you say, whatever your explanation is, people got to be able to accept it. And I don't think a lot of your potential constituents are going to accept that as an answer. Oh, I was just horsing around. They're not really going to like that too much. You got to answer for it. So, of course, that was a big topic during the conversation that they had, during the debate that they had. Okay. Now, here's a piece of that. Again, we got Abigail Spanberger on the left, the Democrat, and on the right, we have Winsome Earl Sears, the Republican, running for governor of Virginia.
Thank you, Ms. Spanberger. I didn't hear an answer there on the endorsement issue, so I want to just make sure. Will you continue to endorse Jay Jones to be the next Attorney General of Virginia? And were you aware of these text messages before they released? You have 30 seconds.
In fact, it appears that it was the
those who released the text messages and held them for years. So the public was unaware who had knowledge of these text messages for many hours.
What did you do about it?
I learned of these text messages the day that they came out, and I denounced them as soon as I learned of them.
She denounces murder.
And importantly, at this point, as we move forward, the voters now have this information that was withheld for them,
You're running to
presumably for
Ms. Earl
political
Sayers,
reasons. But the voters now have the information, and it is up to voters to make an individual choice based on this information.
Ms. Bamberger, I understand what you're saying about the voters, but for you yourself, do you still continue to endorse Jay Jones? 15 seconds, yes or no?
We are all running our individual races. I believe my opponent has said that about her lieutenant governor nominee.
Ms. Earl Sayers,
and it's up to every person to make their own decision. I am running my race to serve Virginia, and that is what I intend to do.
But see, look, you're not answering the question, though, because it's not about what the voters want. It's about what you want. It's about what you endorse. You're the governor, or you're trying to become the governor. You're going to have certain powers bestowed upon you. You can't just say whenever it's time to use those powers, let the voters decide. Nah, you're the leader. You're the one in charge. And see, I ain't going to say it again because some people got offended, but y'all know what I'm about to say. This is why the whole issue of women in leadership roles sometimes can be, you got to be a certain kind of woman to be in leadership role. Okay. Winston Merle, I think she do a good job, but this lady right here, you can't keep passing the buck like that. You got to be able to be accountable. You can't just say it's up to them. Nah, it's up to you. It's up to you. Okay, now, here's another one with my guy, Tom Shad from WTV 10 out there in Norfolk. Shout out to Tom Shad. I've been watching Tom Shad, this guy right here, like my whole life, literally, on the same channel. So shout out to him. So here he is, asking Abigail Spanberger about the whole bathroom bill thing because Glenn Youngkin, the current governor, the Republican, passed a law on the books that says boys cannot go into the girls' locker rooms or bathrooms or any kind of private area. So the question is, are you going to keep that or are you going to rescind that? Okay. Now, what will she say? What do y'all think? If you've not seen it already.
Rescind the Youngkin administration policy requiring boys and girls to use bathrooms aligning with their biological sex. You have 30 seconds.
My priority would be to ensure that local communities, importantly parents and teachers and educators, are able to work together to meet the unique needs of each school and each community. And that is important. And I say that as a mother of 3 daughters in Virginia public schools. Exactly. And as someone who used to investigate crimes against children. The way that we keep our children safe is by ensuring they are safe in schools, which includes funding law enforcement and public safety.
But Ms. Spanberger, the question was, would you rescind the Youngkin administration policy requiring boys and girls to use bathrooms aligning with their biological sex? You have 15 seconds to clarify that question.
Yes. And my answer is that in each local community, decisions should be made between parents and educators and teachers in each community. It shouldn't be dictated by politicians.
So, look, you can't keep doing that. See, I've already noticed something with her. She doesn't really take any accountability at all. No accountability at all. Like, you have the ability to keep a law that a governor, the current governor, Glenn Youngkin, put on the books, or rescind it. You can do that. You have the power to do that. So what it sounds like is you're going to rescind it. Why would you rescind it? See, we can infer that she would rescind it. But since she didn't say that she would rescind it, then that kind of interrupts the ability for a follow-up question. I would say, okay, if you're going to rescind it, then why would you rescind it? What about those who don't want you to rescind it? What do you say about them? You're going to get a bunch of follow-up questions. This is what the other lady didn't want. This is what, what's her name? Not Kathy Bates. What's her name? Katie Porter. This is what she did not want, was the follow-up questions, because once that happens, now you got to reveal the truth. And it's best to just not answer it and to dodge it, to lie by omission, to lie by intentional omission of the actual truth. You know what you want to do, but you're not saying it because it make you look bad in this debate. But I think people are smart enough to know that if you dodge a question like that, you still look bad because you're not getting to the bottom of what we're trying to get to, which is, are you going to keep the boys out of the girls' locker rooms or not? If you're vague about that, then that means you're not going to do it. That means you're not going to do what Glenn Youngkin has done. That means you're going to rescind it. So, yeah, shout out to Virginia. I mean, I didn't see Virginia fall so hard. And, you know, when I was young, it was a red state when I was real young. And I saw it just kind of just descend. And the reason why it descended is because of all these liberals going to D.C. It's because of the government expansion. The bigger the government got, the bluer Virginia got. Because big government people who want these government jobs up there in Northern Virginia, the D.C. metro area, Maryland, those who are going to get those jobs are always going to be in favor of big government because that's called job security. That's the only reason. Their quest for job security has compromised my state sovereignty. And it's really a shame. But if you like what you're hearing so far, I know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all the good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, so we got Letitia James, the Attorney General out there in New York, now being hit with mortgage fraud. CNN says, look, it ain't no big deal. Mortgage fraud, it's okay. You could lie and say that you live somewhere you don't live because everybody do that, right? Hold on. Let me get right here so you can see the person talking. What's that, Caitlin Collins? I don't know who that is. But yeah, we all do that. It's no big deal to engage in mortgage fraud, right? You do that too.
Aside for a second, what Tish James, and again, we're still getting the details, but if it's related to this mortgage issue, I mean, this is something that everyone in America, or many people at least.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm messing up. I am messing up, doing two things at once. Let me start from the top.
Aside for a second, what Tish James, and again, we're still getting the details, but if it's related to this mortgage issue, I mean, this is something that everyone in America, or many people at least, if you're lucky enough to be able to buy a house in America, you deal with this, right? The federal government doesn't go after all of these people for doing this. Does that aside for the...
Okay, so it's just a normal thing. You going out there buying a house, you just lie about where you live. You lie about your primary residence, secondary residence to get a favorable loan. You know, mortgage fraud, not really a big deal. Don't nobody get charged for that. Okay, well, tell that to Trump then. When Trump got hit up for $500 million, which he beat, of course, because when you're falsely accused of doing things, it's easy to beat the case. But when Trump got hit up for the 500 M's, you guys weren't saying that it was something that everybody does. Saying that your house is worth one thing when someone else may say it's worth something else. We all do that. It's just called real estate. It was okay when he was made to pay $500 million for that, although he beat it. But in this case, when she engaged in clear mortgage fraud as the Attorney General, who should know better, it's no big deal. Everybody does that. Hey, so shout out to her. Here's also CNN saying, you know, more hypocrisy on deck.
Trump did acknowledge that there could have been a mistake on his financial statement when it came to the value of his Trump Tower apartment, but he said that's why his statements included disclaimer clauses. Quote, there's a disclaimer clause where you don't have to get sued by the Attorney General of New York. Is that in any way a legitimate defense?
No, and the judge already found it wasn't. The judge said, listen, you just can't offer miscalculating or wrong and misleading and fraudulent information and then say, wait, just kidding, do your own due diligence here. You have to be able to rely on what's actually being said. So the judge already resolved that issue. Now, what he's trying to do, though, is suggest, and you can't have both worlds, Jake. He can't on the one hand say he's in control of everything, on the other hand say, look, everyone else told me this and I handed it over and delegated. Both can't be true on a fraud trial.
They have to prove that it's done knowingly. And so
So if it's a mistake that's actually relevant criminally, it has to be if it is a mistake and the person says, look, it's obviously a mistake, here's evidence it's a mistake, then you can't prove intent, and that's important?
They've acknowledged, Letitia James seems not, there was an error on a power of attorney form. They would try to argue that that was no intent of wrongdoing if she was presenting throughout, and the bank itself did not feel it was defrauded because they had the correct information despite one false document.
See, the hypocrisy is real. So yeah, shout out to her. Hey, hopefully she gets locked up. That's what I want. Or if she doesn't get locked up, it could be a compromise. The compromise could be you apologize in public, Donald Trump. I'm sorry, Trump. I'm sorry, Orange Man. Orange Man's not bad. I'm sorry for prosecuting you maliciously. I'm not going to do it again. That's what should happen, in my humble opinion. But we'll see. Now, can I show you guys something as far as what's happening with the homelessness? I know I got a lot I want to say and a little bit of time to say it. But there's no purpose in giving homeless people housing. Can I say that without being offensive? There's no purpose in giving homeless people housing, especially those who have mental problems. You're not going to solve mental issues with housing. So look, these are the kind of little tiny homes they're trying to give them out there in Portland. All right. So we're going to see this, and then we're going to see an example of one that's actually, being used. All right, I ain't going to play the sound. It's just beeping and stuff like this. But you see the kind of home it is. Real simple. Doesn't appear to have much in the way of plumbing or anything like this. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. They might do, I don't know what they're going to do for plumbing or bathroom facilities. Porta-john or some kind of public, communal toilet. I don't know what they're going to do. But that is the kind of tiny home they have out there for the homeless. Now, let me show you what a tiny home looks like in reality. Okay. Or a version of it. Like this ain't the exact one, but it might as well be. It's not the exact one you just saw, but it might as well be. And the surroundings will be what happens. Let me show you this. Look. Now we have filth everywhere. When you see filth like this all over the place, it's nothing but drugs. Listen, when you see filth like a homeless patch of filth, they're on drugs. Regular normies who just happen to be hard on their luck don't live like this. So we see the outside of the so-called tiny home, right? Let's see the inside. So tell me, what's the purpose of giving them a home when they're going to do this to it? Okay, and you saw the entrance. Look at the entrance. What do you see right there at the entrance? Needle. Like I said, I did not know this person was a drug addict or was on needles, but you could tell. Like anybody can tell that this is drugs. Okay, without the drug paraphernalia right in front of your face, you know what's going on. So what's the point of giving them a home when they're going to do this to it? And I got another one to show you. Okay, I got another. Is it storage? Yeah, storage unit, basically. Okay. Now, this lady right here, severe mental problems. And I hope and pray she gets well. But she is homeless, but she was given housing. Now, they found her outside, back on the street. This home is being paid for by, I suppose, the taxpayers for no reason, because look at it. Watch.
Let you know that I cleaned this room several times, and I was told the chairman was coming, and they never showed up. This is the point where I've given up. I've left the room. I don't even sleep in here. I don't even come in this room, because what happened to my room was they called themselves straightening my room up, and they piled all my stuff in clear plastic bags. And I had to pull everything out of the bags, and then they did it again. And I just.
So where do you stay now, Rosa? If
I stay with friends and out on the street. I don't even come in here. I come in here to grab a pair of clothes and I leave. And
I'm sorry.
I just don't. I don't care.
So this DESC facility doesn't come with housekeeping or case management to help you contend with.
Yeah, well, because they.
So you see what's going on. Like, the problem is not housing. The problem is mental. It's clearly mental, because this is the same filth we just saw on the street, because it all centers around the same thing. Now, I don't know about her if it's drugs or not, but you could tell there's mental problems. That's the problem. That's the issue. And the more they try to fund this, the worse it gets, because now you're just making it easy for them to live like that. You're not actually doing anything to solve the problem. What they call it, the homeless industrial complex. That's what it is. Saray says housekeeping. That's how they think, though. See, on the left coast, they think like that. They think that if you're a homeless person, you're on drugs, whatever it is, mental problems, they're going to give you everything. They're going to clean your house for you. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. It's to the point they also give you the free needles, the clean needles. They give you everything. And all that you've done when you do that is just enable the problem and kept them addicted to drugs that much longer. That's all. That's all there is to it. So yeah, mental problems, mental health, that needs to be the first thing. First thing first, it's got to be what it is. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. I think did I get everything I wanted to get to? I think I got everything I wanted to get. There might be one more here. Okay. Now, some think, you know what? The problems in America, it's just too much. We got the homelessness. We got this. We got that going on. So some want to leave, and some want assistance in being able to leave the USA. Now, I don't know where you're going to go. Where are you going to go that's better than the USA? I can't call it. Okay. We have problems, yes. Ain't nowhere in the world perfect, but we're the best. So if you're going to leave, where are you going to go? This lady may have some answers.
Hi, my name's Charlotte, and I'm building a platform that will help vulnerable Americans leave the USA. I'm working with an amazing group of volunteers to help Help Me Leave, and we're working really hard right now on researching exit pathways and building the website. Being an immigrant is not an easy option, and we know that many of the people who are most at risk have a lot of things to think about, right? Disability, gender, sexuality, race. So we want to make it really easy for you to understand your options and your choices and some of the compromises that you might have to make. If you want to stay up to date on the development, then follow me. And if you want to help, we still need quite a lot of things. We need researchers, and there's some other skills that we need. So I'll pop them up on the screen here. And if that speaks to you, give me a DM as well. This is about the USA right now, but my big vision is a platform that helps anybody who is at risk move to safety. I know that being anti-immigrant is very popular, very in fashion right now, but every single human being alive today is alive because an ancestor of theirs moved. They moved for safety, they moved for opportunity, sometimes they were moved against their will. Whatever the billionaires want us to think, moving to new places is a fundamental part of being human, and I want to help people build lives that are safe and fulfilling.
Okay, that's a unique way to characterize a migrant crisis as moving, because I moved from Virginia to Tennessee. That's moving, okay? Now, if I break into your house and I start sleeping in your bed, did I move in or did I commit a crime? I just moved in. I'm not a criminal. So why are you on the phone with the police saying, hey, we got this big black dude in my bed. Can you come get him? Because you got to do things the right way. If I move somewhere, I must do it legally. I have no problem against legal immigrants. But when you come here, do it the right way. And I hold myself and all Americans to the exact same standard. If we go to any other country in the world, we got to do it right. You got to have your passport in order, your visa in order. If you want to stay there for a while, whatever kind of documents you need to acquire them rather than just sneaking in. And guess what? If you want to sneak into a different country where they don't really play around with immigration, they're going to stomp you clear, smooth into wine. You're going to be stomped into the greatest glass you ever had in your life over in other parts of the world. What we do in America is pretty cool. We're not really that bad. Go to Japan or somewhere. Go to China illegally. Man, please. Hey, you're going to be in a toy factory for 5 years and anybody going to know what's going on. You're going to be writing a note. You're going to be assembling a bunch of random Christmas decorations that are complete fire hazards to go to Dollar General. You're going to put a note in the bag talking about, please come get me. Please help. I'm in China. I'm in Guangzhou. Please come rescue me. And anybody coming to save you. So yeah, the moral of the story is the USA is the best. If you want to come here, do it the right way and it's fine. If you don't do it the right way, I can't do nothing for you. Simple as that. And again, go to other parts of the world and see how that works. Just sneak in there. Just kind of like scooch in. Man, please. You're going to be, big rocks, little rocks immediately. But if you like what you're hearing so far and know what to do, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I got some super chats on deck. Then I'm going to get into the calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. We got super chats on deck, I believe. Okay. Michael Critchlow says, Winsome Earl Sears is a fighter like Trump, and she just showed Republicans across America how to handle Democrats on the debate stage. Right on. I'm thinking of Michael Guess, who says, Democrats had 4 years to get rid of the immigration laws that they passed. Why are they upset? I'll put it to you that way. Thank you for that. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Virginia the Godmother, who says, we salute you, ABL. Thanks for keeping us informed. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Michael Guest, who says illegal aliens are not President Trump's people. They're not. They're really not. Thank you to Ron Henderson, who says we just don't see the good, bad, and ugly. We experience the good, bad, and ugly of illegal immigration. That is, exactly. We experienced it. Thank you to Ron Henderson, who says, hey, ABL, I have you on my big screen projector screen. Can't get no bigger than that. There we go. Shout out to you. And Ron Henderson says, Miss Porter needs to be Miss D. Porter out of here. Right on. Right on. All righty. Let's get to some calls. Again, 706-406-3287. The number is always in the description. Also, in a ticker below me, at a certain point, it'll pop right up. So you don't have to remember. It'll be right in front of you. All right, let's go ahead and get rolling. Now, see, I had a few calls before I opened it. The lines are open right now. So come one, come all. Hit the line. I'll be here. Again, 706-406-3287. Terry says, travel all over the world. There is nowhere like here. Our homeless live like the rich on the homeless scale. Correct. 843, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Monica.
All righty, what's going on?
I'm in South Carolina, and we're getting hit with the tropical storm. Terrible. It's been raining all day.
Well, be safe out there.
With you, Anthony.
You said what now?
I'm so glad I get to speak with you, Anthony.
Oh, likewise.
I was just going to call and say real quick, when you were talking about the homeless issue, the mental disease in our country, I think it's got a lot to do with the chemicals and the food and the water and the drugs that people are taking. And I think that the homelessness problem has a lot to do with that. I don't really think that most people are crazy, that are like born crazy. I think that they are taking.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you. Okay, I don't know what happened, but her point was correct. It's like you got people that are on drugs. There's issues causing it. The drugs, the food, the things that we consume knowingly or unknowingly contribute to the mental health problem. You're on the line speaking to 317.
ABL, my man. Hey, couple things I just wanted to touch on. Can you hear me all right?
I hear you well.
All right, great. I can tell you've never been arrested, which is a good thing. But I just want to say about the misdemeanor thing. Yeah, you can do some time over misdemeanors, and if you ain't been to jail, I mean, it sucks in jail, which is why, it's a deterrent, supposed to be, for crime. But, yeah, it's like, I've been to jail several times. Luckily, I've never got hit with no felonies or nothing like that, so I've managed to stay clear, keep all my rights. But, I mean, I've been arrested and put in jail several times for misdemeanors. So them saying misdemeanors aren't a crime is a joke. I mean, they can give you a year in jail for a misdemeanor. So, but and then I went to high school in Virginia, Chantilly, Northern Virginia, Reston, Fairfax City, Chantilly, Centerville, all that Herndon area. Yeah. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now, I was just saying, yeah, I know the area very well. They call Herndon, they call Herndon Honduras now, don't they?
Oh my God, I couldn't tell you. I left there, but it's changed a lot. I've been back probably the past 10 years. I've only been back there twice. So I mean, it's so different. It's not even worth my time going back there. It's just everything's so different. But I did go to DC a lot back at 90s, like late 90s, early 2000s. And it was a slum then, and it's pretty much where we went to get weed. I mean, that's what all of DC was for us in Northern Virginia, you know what I mean? But yeah, it sucks seeing Virginia go down like that, man, because it was a beautiful place. It's a really, really beautiful place. It's just all them liberals up in the north, man, are just ruining everything about it. But yeah, that's all I had to say. And yeah, them illegal immigrants and their misdemeanors, I think we should just turn it into a felony then. Only for them to be deported, not for us to take care of them.
Right, I agree.
But that's about it. Love the show. Thanks for answering my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, shout out to the caller. Don Lemon was just ignorant. It's like, come on, Don. You don't understand what a misdemeanor is. You don't understand that it's a criminal offense. It's a low-level offense, but it is an offense nonetheless. Just because it's a low offense does not mean it's not an offense. So yeah, I mean, it's just all that showed from Don Lemon was his ignorance. And it's a lot of people on television and in government who are ignorant just like that. Okay, and that is the absolute truth. But shout out to you guys again. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 818. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Power Ranger X from YouTube. Hi.
All right, man. What's going on?
Oh yeah. Hey, Anthony, ABL. I was walking about the ice rage. I think it's a really good idea. Bernie, I saw Don Lemon's live raid. A lot of people weren't happy, and I was like, those must be illegal aliens. And the fact that we're standing up for that is not good, because I was attacked in Chinatown here, LA, October 3. I was just walking to the bodega, and I was attacked by 2 illegal migrants on my way in a Street Fighter 5 Vega costume. I was just enjoying myself, and I was walking to the store, and I was attacked, and my phone stolen almost again. Again, this keeps happening over and over. And this has happened to me in the past, in 2023, when some illegal migrants attacked my car, completely left it damaged, and stole my phone. It's a big problem. That was in Bakersfield, California. And October 19, 2023, somebody stole my lovebirds. So it's very clear that illegal migrants are setting up shop everywhere else, whereas, bums or otherwise, because then the same day I walked back to my place, guess what happened? Another illegal migrant attacked me, and he has a tent right next to American citizens' cars, right next to somebody's car. And you know, this is the problem of California. I believe I have a case against California, and I want to sue California.
Well, hopefully you're able to sue them and win, because if that's going on, you got a case, in my opinion. We'll see.
Thanks.
All right, well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem.
All righty, there we go. So shout out to my man. shout out to my man for the call. I appreciate him for rocking and rolling. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, drink responsibly. I'm not saying he's drunk. I'm just saying I'm seeing some of the comments. Please drink responsibly. But the number to call is 706-406-3287. 706-406-3287. The number is always in the description. Also in the ticker right there. Perfect timing. 706-406-3287. Check me out. Yeah, but there are issues with illegal aliens, and everybody knows it. But I don't know if everybody, I don't know if it's. I feel like if you're just going outside and then there's like a constant illegal alien onslaught, I don't know, man. You might be living in Mad Max territory. You might want to get up out of there and move to safety, escape. 619, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, is this ABL?
Yes, it is.
Hey, sir. Hey, man. Good to talk to you, ABL. Hey, if you don't mind, I just wanted to say, I really want to get real about this illegal immigrant thing. I saw that video of the Homeland Security Secretary. She was talking to this illegal immigrant that got picked up in the back of a car, talking about like he had been arrested like 5 times, like sexually assaulting kids and like rape and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, and he just gets to go home? He just gets to go home and like, crack open a couple of cervezas with his amigos and then like wait for another administration and come back over and do it again. Like, this ain't good enough, bro. It's not good enough. Like here in Florida, you get caught, doing something like that to a kid, you don't see the sun ever again. You know what I mean? You take a dirt nap, and that's how I'm feeling about it. Like, I'm real frustrated,
I understand what you mean. I really do. Like, it shouldn't just be a matter of deportation. It's a matter of incarceration or the appropriate punishment under the law, which should be more severe than just you get to go back to the house.
Yeah, he just gets to go back to the beach, and wherever, Cancun or wherever. He just gets to talk about all the stuff that he did to us, to all of his friends down there. And then, like I said, he keeps coming back. He came back like 5-6 times, just over and over again, doing the same thing. And so that's how I feel about it, man. People are saying like there's not enough deportations, and I'm like, deportations ain't even really the solution. So that's how I feel. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Well, thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, I feel them. I do understand, because it's like, okay, we could deport somebody, but when they are dedicated to keep coming back over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, doing the exact same things they always do, then we need to think about it a little bit differently. So I feel where he's coming from. Who am I speaking to on the line? 817.
Hey, ABL, it's Jay from DFW.
All righty, what's going on?
Can you hear me okay? I sound like I'm echoing.
I hear you well.
Okay, I just had a few comments. You were talking about the border security in other countries, and if you ever watch that show, I watch it on the YouTube. They check every document, every text message, every bank account, every credit card. Let them find a resume or a stack of business cards, and they turn them away. Like, oh, we think you're trying to work here. How much money you got? You only got enough for the weekend, but you trying to stay for 3 months. They turn them on around.
Okay.
I just hope and wish that what the United States does at their border, check-ins and security. And the other one about the drug uses and the zombies. Can you imagine if they find out the chemical reaction to make them actually run fast like the Walking Dead and come and try to bite you? And that's the scary part. I was laughing to myself when you brought up the Walking Dead. But it's sad, and I pray for all the youth and the lost ones on them drugs. But I just had to call in. That Walking Dead image was just in my head. I couldn't imagine running down the street from one of them drug addicts or zombies.
Nah.
But that's it. I was long-winded, and you had me chuckling thinking about it. It is sad, but I couldn't help but laugh.
But thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Hey, no. Say, hey, make them run fast. Oh my God, nah. That's crazy. Oh man, that was good. That was a good one. That was good. Okay, great. That was the best one tonight. Shout out to her. 843. You don't know how much speaker to.
Oh, I'm partial. Hello, Anthony. I'm calling again. It's Monica. My phone is a piece of crap because it's from South Korea and not China. Sorry, it dropped the call.
Okay, normally I don't allow 2 calls in one night, but your call had dropped, so it's okay. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, just to finish up, because it's probably going to drop the call again, I do believe that the problem with our society is chemicals, drugs in our society, like in the food, in the water, and in people being prescribed drugs that they should not be taking because it's just making them worse off. And I think that if we could really clean up ourselves with vitamins and supplements, then it would change everything. And I think I wish people would go.
Oh, there you go. So it did drop. I didn't hang up on her. But yeah, I'm with you. The chemicals, the things that we consume, like I said, the things that we consume knowingly or unknowingly. Okay, crack smoke, number one, that really shouldn't be what you're doing. But there's other things we got to cut out. We may not know that we're doing to ourselves, but are causing this harm. So she's right on point. Shout out to her. 310, you know who am I speaking to?
This is Ron from Georgia. How you doing, ABL?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing good today, man. But I got a thing, man. I just want to ask you a question, man. I got a relative that, he called me after your show last week. Just somebody called me at 11 o'clock our time and everything. But we was on the phone talking for about 90 minutes, and he started getting a little political or whatever, And so, I said, and he started talking about KC, Charlie Kirk. And, he sent me a link that has all of Charlie's sayings and everything like that to try to back up his argument that Charlie was some kind of a racist. And I said, no, I don't believe that, and you might be taking things out of context. And they just sent me all these things and just keep on rehashing. So I can see how people get their mind all messed up because, this type of brainwashing over and over again to say something that is not in context. But anyway, and then I get a text today, and he started talking about the colonizers and everything like that. So it's funny what my youthful relatives they think. I don't know what happened with them, why they think this way. Because I told them, I said, I always see how you think like that. They said it's totally not in your character, but yet you feel this way. And I told him, I was very disappointed in his attitude and viewpoint. And I just told him, he said, well, Uncle, I said, I'm not trying to offend you or nothing. I said, no, you don't offend me. I said, I'm just surprised, because you weren't brought up this way. And I said, I don't know how you got so jaded, but, he lives in California, so that might be a reason, especially seeing people stuck on Frank and everything like that, my God. I knew when I left California, and when I left California, that's when they legalized smoking marijuana there. And I told my wife, I said, from this point on, all you're gonna do is smell marijuana in the air, and these people are gonna be zoned out. They won't think for themselves. They just, hey, if I could get it, I'm just doing it. And that's what's happening with these people. Like I said, we don't need nothing but more true laws that people are being prosecuted for, and that they have to do. We need to have more insane asylum for these people so they can get their mental health. And back to one flew over the cuckoo's nest. All we just need is not have people in there abusing these people, but they do need to be locked up off the streets. And 3, we need more prisons. Really, we do need more prisons. In a lot of places where in America that we got population that has left and everything. These would be perfect places for a prison. Perfect places for prisons. And not only that, you have housing around the prison because these are people who are the prison workers. They have their own housing, getting paid, monitoring these prisoners who are there paying for their time. Yeah, your relatives who want to see you, yeah, we got housing for them outside the prison. They can stay that night, and you camp out. Meanwhile, they're doing the time 100%. Ain't no getting off easy and everything like that. And these people who do egregious time, murder and things like that, these people, it need to be, you're found guilty, right from there, out the door, whether it's gallows or, 50 cent, 556 or 223, hey, and put them in a sealer bag, and there you go, there, and we're done with, and like I said, just like what they're doing right now. It's funny that in Tennessee right now, like I said, these people in Memphis, they're not running the streets right now. You don't know why? Because there's accountability. There's accountability, and and people go walk and have their babies out there walking and playing hopscotch and everything. No. Because there's accountability. You come out there with your Roscoe and everything like that. You run around with no proper tags on your car, no insurance and everything. I saw this one guy, he's talking about, oh yeah, I'm going to work at 3 o'clock in the morning, they pulling me over and they stopping me for my tags and everything like that. Yeah, well, I think that's unfair and everything like that. They haven't been doing it. That's the problem. They haven't been doing it. Meanwhile, you up there running into somebody. And guess what? You want me to pay for it with my insurance? Come on, man. This is the problem. So what do you think about that, brother?
Hey, I'm right there with you. Like you got to start actually enforcing the laws on the books, because when you don't, you just let stuff go on. Stuff goes on, and everybody suffers.
That's right. That's right. And like I said, how is it that our youth today wants to try to give back America back to we're not entitled to the founding of America. Unfortunately, wars happen. Land is grabbed and everything like that. And the interesting is that he's talking on the Moorish thing and everything like that. And I said, come on, man. I said we can't. That shit can fail, bro. I said, you want to go back to Morocco or whatever the Moorish ways and all this stuff? I said, no, I'm an American, bro. I love my country the way it is. I'm sorry that Mexico lost California, but it ain't going back to Mexico. You know what I'm saying? We got laws, and they need to abide by it straight up. That's it. And like you say, man, you can't just come in and kick my house down and sit on my couch and get my, Kaiser card and everything and drink my cerveza or my Red Bull or whatever you might be having in the refrigerator. My coconut water. No, you can't do all that. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I'm not going to play that. I'm sorry. We got laws. Everybody need to follow it. Everybody need to follow it. And I'm talking about the rich and the poor, the weak and the strong. And that's it, and that'll bring some sense to our society. It's crazy, but it's crazy that, like I said, common sense ain't coming no more. Come on now, what's up? You know what I'm saying? We stand for the right. And God bless our president who's trying his best to, save the world right now, for all these wars and rumors of wars, Granted, the Bible's being fulfilled, but yet he's still trying to make a difference, still trying to make a difference. And we can make a difference here too. He don't need the Nobel Peace Prize, because we know that he's a noble peace winner. That's a noble man, doing something for America. And I stand behind him 100%, 10 toes down. But anyway, beloved, I love you, bro. You just keep on doing what you do, man. And I'm still praying for you, man, and praying for everybody in the chat, praying for our country, our cities. And I can't wait till you get to Georgia, man. I need to know when you're going to be in Georgia so we can do that meet and greet. I've been looking for that. I've been wondering when you're going to come and do that, because I want to see you, bro. I want to shake your hand, man. Firm. a firm handshake, a man handshake with you, brother. So I'm looking forward for that day when I get to meet you for sure.
Right on,
God
man.
bless you, bro.
I'll make it happen pretty soon. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Keep us posted, brother.
All righty.
Love you.
All right, now. All right, great call. Fantastic call. And shout out to you guys. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to...
I have tons of...
859, you're on the line.
How's it going, ABL? How's it going? Listen, Fan Libertarian here. How's it going? Just been a little work and life as it is, man. How's it going, man?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Oh, not much. I want to give a shout out. Unfortunately, I've been having a bad day because my mom's China and a lot of her stuff have been missing, and I've been worried about it. But I want to give a shout out to the Lexington company. Was it Firefighters Will Move You? I'll give a shout out to them because they tend to miss things. They tend to lose things all the time. So if you ever are a veteran or listening, and if you want a moving company, do not pick that one. So,
okay.
Hey, what's up? I've been listening to the show, and I'm enjoying it, man. So, I've heard about all the craziness between Portland, Oregon, and ICE. My question is, why is ICE in Portland? I don't think there's too many illegals there.
Well, I mean, they're all over the country, so they got to go to where they are. And I think what's happening with Portland is you have the Antifa people attacking federal buildings. So you got the feds out there trying to control that. And ICE are trying to do their operations, so they're trying to back them up. So it's kind of a combination of the federal, like the National Guard and ICE.
Oh, the Antifa guys with like less testosterone, man. I've seen these guys in the Pride Parade. The difference between the 90s and now. I mean, where's the beef? There's no testosterone. It's pretty sad and pathetic. Some of these people out here throwing Molotov cocktails and couldn't throw a baseball would have saved their life. I don't know, man. Some of these grown thugs thinking they're fighting for the revolution, but they haven't grown out of their mom's basement, and it's kind of like sad because I would think even the Soviet Union would be slightly disappointed. Like, what? No muscle? You guys are saying the working class, but yet you guys don't have muscle.
Right.
All right, I'll talk to you later, ABL. Give me a good shout out. I like your show, man. Much appreciated. And hopefully we can replace my mom's china and furniture. Have a good one, ABL. Much love, bro.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, God bless America, man. See ya.
All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's go to 203 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Still ABL, Automotive Truth Podcast. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Good. I'm glad. We haven't been watching because we're just finished wrapping up our own episode just a short bit ago. But I wanted to ask you, what are these protesters going to protest about now? Now that there's peace in the Middle East, there's no BLM, there's, what else? So many things that we put the kibosh on now. What are they going to protest?
That's a really good question. I feel like anything that they are being paid to protest, so they could go out there and protest Pokemon, Beanie Babies. It don't really matter.
Not the Beanie Babies. Wow. Yeah, I just heard one of your last callers, and they were talking about. I thought he was talking about as far as Trump being a tyrant. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Whatever you have to do, just get this country straight. The situation with the Islam and the Muslims, and the madness that's going on. There's just so much out there. The threats to America. I mean, Dearborn, Michigan. That's insane. People are just blatantly saying death to America. I mean, my husband was just saying a little while ago that America's like little Americas. We're not having any of that, but we don't know how many have come through the walls, through the borders. That any minute now something can happen.
That's right, and that's part of the issue. We don't really know who's here, so it could be anything that happens at any time. That's why ICE is so important to get these raids going on, because I think they know more about who's here than we do. So I let them do their job and make us a lot more safe.
Exactly. I'm with it. I'm ready to fight, Theo. I'm fighting. I don't care. I'm fighting for this country in whatever way we have to. So, if, like I said, if Trump has to be a tyrant, let him loose. Let him loose. All right. I love you, Theo. You take care, okay?
All right. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it. All right. Shout out to them. Great call. But yeah, let him loose. Let him do what he got to do. That's what I say. Let him out there and let him do what needs to be done. That's what I say. But again, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoyed the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But yeah, hopefully one day it'll be peace in the Middle East. But, you know, things like that are easier said than done. Unfortunately, fortunately, whatever it is, things like that are much easier said than done. And that is a fact. But shout out to y'all. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. I think that might be a wrap. That might be a wrap for me. Hold on. I got some more calls. I almost spoke too soon. Let's go to 925. Hit online. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, this is Steve Sykes, the troll that you called from last time. Hey, hi, how you doing, sir?
It's all good. What's happening?
I just wanted to let you know I'm watching your show. I've been chock blocked, so I can't see you live, but I love your show, and have a nice day, sir.
All right, thank you for the call. Appreciate it. Okay, I don't know what happened. He got blocked. I don't know. He must have did something. If I blocked him, he did something, but I don't know what happened. So shout out to him. Hopefully everything's all good. All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. I thought I had one right there. And I'm gonna just wait for them to come back. And then we'll continue from there. All right. 734, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
It's Aisha from Michigan. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
I'm good. So my comment tonight is regarding the halftime in Bad Bunny. I don't know why people are trying to make it seem like it's a problem of citizenship, as it's a problem of communication. People don't sit up and watch their favorite shows in Spanish. I was going back and forth with my sister. She really said, okay, put the captions on. I asked her, I said, when you're watching your show, are you watching it in Spanish? Because your language is English. Why would you? The Super Bowl is based in the United States. The native language is English. When you go to a store, when you call customer service, the number one language you expect is English. Even foreigners coming here know the language is English. And people try to bring up Jennifer Lopez and Shakira, but their songs are mostly English with a little bit of Spanish in it.
Right, exactly. Like, that's the main thing. And it's weird because I think they're just being defensive when they say the whole thing about citizenship. Oh, well, you know, Puerto Rico is part of America. It's like, thank you for that. I appreciate the geography. Thank you for the little history lesson. But that's not even the issue. Like you said, it's about communication. And then also, a lot of people don't even know who Bad Bunny is in America. English speaking people don't know who he is because he doesn't have any songs in English. Like with Shakira, she might say 1,000 words in Spanish, but I know hips don't lie. I know that. But with Bad Bunny, what is that equivalent to him? I don't know.
That's exactly what I told my sister. I said I could have seen if they would have had maybe Jennifer Lopez up there and brought him out for maybe a 1-minute segment if y'all want to satisfy a different audience of people that speak a different language. But I just don't get it. It's a reason to be argumentative and just call people racist for no reason. I just don't understand that. This would have never happened 15 years ago. It just wouldn't have happened.
I agree 100%.
And then my second comment is just a fun fact I learned today. Did you know Al Sharpton used to be James Brown manager?
I did not know that.
Yes, I learned that today. Everybody go look that up. So that was just my 2 comments for tonight. Have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you. That's interesting that Al Sharpton was James Brown's manager. I mean, and that actually says that it makes sense because let's look at old Al Sharpton. Some of the young folks, y'all know y'all know the bobblehead Al Sharpton. Like the young people, y'all know this guy if you know him at all. You know the MSNBC dude that weighed about 100 pounds. Okay, you know this guy right here. But the Al Sharpton, I remember, let's go back a little bit. Okay. There's one picture I want to find. Okay, yeah. Okay. This is Al Sharpton I remember. Okay, that's who, with the big overalls for no reason. I'm not sure what that is on his neck, some kind of pendant, a police badge because he was FBI informant. That's just a fact, verifiable. The curl, the James Brown curl. So that's probably where he got the curl from is James. But he did not get James's athleticism or fitness, obviously. And is that a collar right there with a red short sleeve dress shirt? So when you see him, it makes sense. Oh, okay, I get it. You a music guy. All right, that's why you look kind of ridiculous. But without that context, it's just like you fat and looking crazy for no reason. But since you were in the music, it'll match. M. Hell says his hair is styled like mine in the 80s. Hey, that was a thing back in the 80s, you know, that kind of hairstyle. But even for the 80s, he looked crazy. Even for the 80s, he looked crazy. This is a man's, hey, now we're going to get this all the James Brown classics. I wonder if Al can dance. If he was on stage as a background dancer. Nah, he wasn't doing none of that because you kind of ain't no bit back doing no dances like that. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. I think that'll be a wrap for me tonight. I will see you guys again live on Tuesday. Shout out to the Instagram people. I'm live every Tuesday on Instagram at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm live every Wednesday and Saturday on YouTube, 8 p.m. Eastern to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm here putting out content all throughout the week on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever I'm at. I'm putting out stuff there. So follow me everywhere. And of course, you guys know this is an audio streaming podcast. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will always be in the description. All right. So let me just read some super chats right here. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Shout out to you guys for watching. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Could not do it without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. And the last one here from Lothair says, yeah, I'm not on meth. I just work out, have a lot of energy, and the only thing I smoke is the marijuanas. Okay, that's what he smokes. So he not on no crack or no meth or no nothing like that. So shout out to him. I think that will be your wrap. You guys have been great. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out and peace.